Good morning and welcome to the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park here in Attica, Indiana for round number 2 in the Central Series. And here is another great example of what Ultra 4 USA vehicles can do. It's going to be absolutely amazing here. I love this park. It's got a little bit of everything out here. You can see the weather behind me. We've had weather this week. It's rained off and on, but it's looking like we're going to snake this one out. We're hopeful for it at least. So thank you again for everybody on site and tuning back at home. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. We are about to kick off qualifying. We've got roughly 80 cars entered this weekend, all the way down from the Youth 170s through the UTVs, through the EMCs, and to the 4400 mains. It's going to be a wonderful weekend for sure. Again, qualifying is about to kick off. It's going to be a 0.9 mile loop, so roughly around that 1 mile mark, and I think they're going to be just over a minute for the fast time. We'll see. We were chatting about it last night, and I think we're going to be just over a minute. We'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but it's going to be a good weekend. So we'll kind of click through here. We've got a couple on screen. We got a drone that'll be flying around. We have James with Believe Cam out here. And your bottom left, that's the start finish at the Branik Motorsports start finish right there. We'll have a drone on the top right, and then Benji out on course will hopefully pop into the top left later. And then Team Indiana has stepped up, and they're going to have a couple cameras out on course with us this afternoon once the course gets a little bit bigger. But I do see some cars being lined up, and I think we're going to be close to an on-time start. Again, the start finish is right behind me. For the races, I will move down to the quarry. So if any of the racers or fans want to come say hi during qualifying or during maiden race, please do. We're going to try to sneak in some Star Stream later on today. Got to get that set up behind the scenes a little bit. Badlands Off-Road Park is open a lot out here. It's 7 days a week. It's pretty cheap to come out here. Very, very family friendly. It's got over 1,400 acres. You can bring your family, go leaf looking. There's some legit rocks, obstacles, and then they've got the sand dunes as well. And you can really rip it up, and there's some good jumps out here. There's a lot of whoops, and then the trees. I mean, they're fun. There's some creeks you can cross. This place is absolutely amazing. So can't thank Kyle and Larry enough. We've had, setting up this course, there's a lot of things that come up. We hit up Larry or Kyle, they deliver. So they've been extremely easy to work with, and can't thank them enough. Especially with Monster Energy, Warren Racing, Branik Motorsports, all things UTV, NorCal Rock Racing, Rock Crawler Suspension, Freight Factory, Spider Tracks, Factor 55, PCI Race Radios, G-Force Suspension Technology, Metal Cloak, Maxxis Tires, and King Shocks. So we are moments away from qualifying to kick off. And normally we kind of do it by class, but Trotter said this morning, first come, first serve in our drivers' meetings. So we'll see how it all plays out. So I'm getting my, make sure you go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have here in the Big B studio. Looks like it's not quite updated yet. Switch over to the YouTube. If you have any questions, please put them in there and I'll see what happens. Oh, we got the drone is live. He'll be taking off here shortly. So we have a little bit of limited cameras here for the qualifying, but hey, we'll do our best and have some fun. I've got the Big B table down in the quarry already set up because we're going to have to do qualifying up here in the arena, and then we'll go down the quarry for tonight's race, come back to the arena for the 170 tomorrow morning, and then back down to the quarry. So I didn't want to move the table back and forth, so you can see how much of a mess of wires I do have here in the Big B studio, but the table itself has it all hidden. So a little behind the scenes here. We're having some fun with it. So later on today, the race will be 11.3-mile loops. Everybody will be racing 4 laps, except for the 44s. They'll be racing 8 laps. And then the Youth 1000s were supposed to race 2, but they voted for 3, so they want some of the action. And I think we have our first car out on course as we speak. And it is Carter Gonzalez. So Carter Gonzalez and Corey Day, number 49 out of Hobart, Indiana, with Gladiator Racing in that pro modified class. He's racing his Can-Am with CT Raceworks, SD Lighting, MRT, KWI Clutching, Race Ready Chassis Systems, G-Force, Margaret Machine, and Tool. His first race was right here 1 year ago. So we'll see what a fast time starts. And we also will have racing tracks later on today. It's not going to be very important for qualifying, but make sure you tune into that later on. And then obviously you're tuned into the Ultra 4 USA. We've got a few people out there watching. Thank you. All right, ran over and had a quick little chat with James, our Believe Cam drone. He's getting up in the air, and looks like we have another one off the line. We have the number 410 of Reed in a Hurry Murnaham with Gavin Smith riding shotgun out of South Point, Ohio with AR Racing. He's part of the stock class in his Polaris and L&W. His first Ultra 4 USA race was Rush, Kentucky back in 2023. So I'll be flipping my paperwork back and forth. But we do have our first time of the day, and it is Carter Gonzalez with a 158. Again, I do think we'll be about the 110 mark for the fastest. All right, we're going to have Casey Gilbert hopping in. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
All right, got all my paperwork lined out. A 0.9 qualifying loop. Carter Gonzalez just did a 158. I think we're going to be about that 110 mark later. What do you think?
Yeah, Pam, we showed up to registration, and her and Del Ponte were arguing or debating back and forth what the fastest qualifying was. She thought it was going to be under a minute. I'm not sure we'll get there.
Yeah, I think 110's fairly realistic, but a 158's our first run. Obviously, fresh tracks, not completely burned in. Obviously, you guys and gals pre-ran yesterday, but
yeah, it's just kind of the qualifying course. Obviously, starting in the bowl right here, just kind of a sandy trail through the woods for the most part.
Yeah, no real hard obstacle out there.
No, there's good little whoop section halfway through it that you could get out of sorts in, but other than that, it's just a good little woods course. So
get off the line next. There is Gavin Smith, number 304 out of Charleston, West Virginia, with G. Smitty Racing, part of the pro modified class, and his Can-Am with Lynchworks, Mountain Made Off-Road, Jesus Christ, CT Raceworks, and MRT. And we just had Reed Murnaham with a 151. So I'm scrolling through the list. We should have roughly 80. No, we're down to 75 competitors. It'll be racing this weekend, and most of them should be qualifying today. But speaking of that, you don't have to qualify. You can take a rear start if you want, or if your car's not ready. But James Cantrell's not here, so I think everybody's car's ready.
He just rolled in, actually. So
Did he?
Yeah.
All right.
He's riding with Caden.
Oh, Caden Berger.
You know, from Branik.
Nice.
So,
he didn't give me that info.
Yep. Of course, he rolled in 4 minutes after qualifying started.
No, not a doubt in my mind. So I had Corey Day down, but it's James Cantrell, huh?
Yeah, I think that was just I can't remember who Corey Day's riding with, but it was a conflict with the 48s.
Oh, with the 44s and the 48s, because we mix them up, which we don't do very often, but yeah, we're with the time schedule we have to kind of adjust some things because this park is open till 4 o'clock. We do have the qualifying loop locked down, but after that, it's wide open. Anybody can come out and ride till 4, so you can go out pre-run, but you may come up on some spectators out there, so obviously we got to be careful.
Yeah, and Kyle's done such a great job. I mean, we've been coming to this park since I was in high school. So that ages me. 2001 was the first time I was here.
So you are older than me. It looked like it.
Yeah. And it was a dopey little pole barn right here, you know, in front of where we were sitting back then. And Kyle's developed it into this off-road mecca.
One of the biggest dealerships in this area.
Yep.
It's very impressive.
So we pulled in last year after the new buildings got built here, and I was, you know, holy cow, but he's done a really good job of cleaning this place up, and it's really a diverse park.
Yeah, they got the woods, the sand dunes, the rock obstacles, trees, mud. I mean, what isn't here?
Yep.
They got it all. It's great. So off the line there was Devil A Dan Hill, number 888, with Cole riding shotgun out of Omaha, Nebraska with FP Racing. He's in a Can-Am with FP Racing, CT Raceworks, MRT, RCV, Power Sports Nation, G-Force, KWI Clutching, and Spider Graphics. Again, make sure you get on to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing we have here in the Big B studio.
It looks like Justin Robbins just left the line there.
Number 311 out of Decatur, Alabama with Team All Things UTV in the All Things UTV Open class. In his Can-Am, All Things UTV, Full Throttle Power Sports, MRT, Vision, Simpson, Apex Powder Coating, and CT Raceworks.
So I'll be curious to see what Dustin's time is here.
Yeah,
that'll really set the...
It'll set the pace for sure. And we just had a time for Dan Hill's a 153. Fastest of the day right now is Gavin Smith with a 144. So Pam was guessing sub-minute. That ain't happening. My 111 I don't think is going to happen now.
Yeah,
I think a 130 is pretty realistic.
Yeah, we went and when we started pre-running yesterday.
At 25 miles an hour.
Yep, and Aiden and I were talking about it. We said there's no way anybody's getting under a minute. So prove me wrong, I guess.
Yeah, well, you prove us wrong.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I saw Aiden out there ripping up your car back at home, and he said it's faster when he drives it.
Yeah, he thinks so, but no.
It looked like Anderson, yep, the number 225 of Brandon Caveman Anderson out of Stacy, Minnesota with Caveman Racing. He's part of the stock class in his Polaris with Caves Customs, RCV, and Freedom Lifts. He's been racing with us since 2020.
Got a time on Dustin Robbins coming in.
141. Here. So one. So Pam's 55 seconds gone.
It's gone.
My 110 gone. I don't know if we'll get to the 130 flat. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be close. In a big car, you can push them a lot harder through these bumps, but this is a pretty tight little course, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think especially this qualifying, I don't think a big car is going to have a big advantage on speed. Now, once we get to the full course, there's some rock obstacles that will make the difference, but I think UTVs and even 4400s will probably have a very similar time.
I wouldn't surprise me if a UTV overall qualifying here today.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
Next
and
one up the line.
Terhune, it looks like, isn't it?
Yeah, John Terhune. part of the Team Indiana. So anybody, the racers on site, remember 2 to 4 today. They've got a whole hog going over there.
Yeah, so they're doing pulled pork. Team Indiana's, everybody's brought sides. So, and they invited all the fans, all the racers, and the whole Ultra 4 staff, along with Badlands. So 2 to 4 at Team Indiana, just past the big Badlands billboard. Come on out and tell some stories, have some grub, and check it out. So it looks like Jonathan Terhune and Brant Irwin, number 890 out of Muncie, Indiana, with Team Indiana and Fathead Racing. He's in that old school Jesse Haynes fabrication car with a Mass Motors LS 408 with 600 horsepower. He's got Branik Motorsports, Nate Jesse, Corey Day, Brant Irwin, and Ronald McDonald helping him out.
So that car was originally Rusty Bray's, the
XR8 car, right?
Yeah, they built it when we were racing Trek out here. And Rusty Bray just purchased a car from Jay Shaw.
So he's got a Can-Am Mav R.
So Rusty's back racing. Saw him this morning.
Yeah, his first race back since forever was Bowling Green, Kentucky, just a month ago probably. It's starting to run together.
Yep.
But yeah, we got some good stuff going on. We're trying to tech a camera out on course. Benji's out there doing recovery, so hopefully his pops up in that top left. And then on top right is James with a Believe Cam drone. Obviously, Casey and I are in the Big B studio, your bottom right. And then the start finish is in your bottom left. It's like a 107 possibly. Oh, that's going to be Hunter Biddle, I believe. So he's part of the Youth 1K. Trying to get a visual on him. Well, Casey, it's been a wild weekend. We've had rain, we've had sun, we've had a little bit of a breeze. I mean, I don't know. I've been watching the weather for the last few weeks, but it's looking like we may sneak out and be okay.
Yeah, it's drying up. A lot of this haze right now is just that wildfire smoke, from what I understand. So, really, it's not a bad weekend. It's nice and cool. It's not 110 degrees and easy racing.
So Hunter Biddle, number 107, part of the Youth 1K class out of Longmont, Colorado with Hunter Racing. He's in a Can-Am with Elite Power Sports of Colorado and Warren Racing. So let's talk about the UTV classes. We have a stock class, a pro modified, and an open. So the Youth 1K follows under stock class. It can race in that class. It's just you have to be, 12 to 16 with a responsible adult
co-driver. Yeah, basically
we leave that loose, right?
Yeah, the only rules difference between a youth class and a stock car class is the youth doesn't require 2 seats.
Oh, so okay. I didn't think of that because you have to have a co-driver.
Co-driver.
So you couldn't have an RS1 or a purpose-built machine.
Yeah, when we were working with Dave and all the guys, from King of the Hammers on that rules, we're trying to make it so. Oh, Terhune's going the wrong. Did Terhune finish?
No, yeah, they pull up off out here and pull into the class. So
time come across.
So Jonathan Terhune is first in class, third overall with a 144. So a very respectable run. But right now, as all things UTV, Dustin Robbins with a 141.
But with the youth cars, we were trying to make it so somebody could build a youth car. And then once they aged out, they transitioned without a big investment.
And you did that with your son Aiden. Yep. He had that. It's a Polaris, right?
Yep. Polaris.
And he raced in the Youth 1K and won his class last year. And then he stepped up to the stock class, running with the big dogs.
Yeah.
Are you still co-driving with him? Correct.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna co-drive with him. He's got a little bit of a learning curve. The pace is obviously different, but
I'm sure
he's starting to get his pace up. I think he's he's standing here. I better go get in with him so we can go qualify, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Waiting on your dad again, like normal? All right. Well, Casey, always a pleasure. Good luck, and we'll see you around, buddy. Yep. All right, so Hunter Biddle is out on course as we speak. We'll run through the top few. It's Dustin Robbins with a 141, Gavin Smith with a 144, Jonathan Terhune with a 144, Brandon Anderson with a 148, Reed Murnahan with a 151, Dan Hill with a 153, and Carter Gonzalez with a 158. And off the line next is the number 40 of Jeremy Blackburn out of Pikeville, Kentucky with On the Gas, part of the stock class. He's in his Polaris RS1 with Jesus Christ, Valor off-road wheels, HMF, Power Sports Nation, and Off-Road Beast. He's won at Rush. He's won at AOP. He's the little UTV that could, because that's a stock Polaris RS1 with an NA. So he's racing against the turbos in this car. And I think horsepower is going to help this race. We'll see if he can keep that car moving. So again, this is a just shy of 1 mile qualifier. Fastest lap of the day is a 1:41 by Dustin Robbins. We were guessing faster than that, but with the rain and the ruts, it's really starting to develop out there. Brian Trotter's been running everything all weekend, doing a great job. RDP has stepped up in some big ways. We've got Roxy, Abe, Cook, Justin, Benji. And again, I am Miles Hasselquist, and we are bringing you some of the best racing we can. So off the line, it looked like Jet Full Throttle Chambers, and it is number 9513. I think he's only about 11, maybe 12 years old. He's got his dad, Jared Chambers, riding shotgun, number 9513 out of Corydon, Iowa, Jet Full Throttle Racing, part of the Youth 1K. He's in a Polaris, CW Motorsports, Tire Spine, Maxxis, Starstream, and Trail Addiction. His first Ultra 4 USA race was last year at Crossbar, where he won, and he won that race this year. So we've had most of UTVs lined up this morning, but it was first come, first serve. So the fastest in the 4,800 class is Jonathan Terhune with a 1:44, only 3 seconds off of Dustin Robbins. So a great run by him. And need to give Dustin a huge shout out. He is the presenting sponsor for the Open Class. The All Things UTV Open Class is Dustin Robbins. He's out here, testing and tuning his parts that he sells his customers. And if you're anywhere in the area, come on out. It's going to be a great weekend of racing. We start racing this evening right around 5 o'clock. And it's $25 a day, $40 for the weekend. And don't forget to go online, ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have here in the Big B studio. Looks like Kurt the Rocket Mackey taking off, with Cole Mackey, his son, riding shotgun out of Omaha, Nebraska with Mackey Racing, part of the Open Class. He's in his Can-Am with JW Performance, Rassman Group, Double E, TR Racing, Maxxis, and CT Raceworks. So when Casey was in here, we touched on it, but a stock car, you have to have an OEM chassis. Must use stock suspension pickup points. Reinforcing is allowed. Must run front body and side plastics. Rear bed can be trimmed to fit a spare tire, 33-inch maximum tire, and 1,000cc max engine. The Pro Modified, you can have hydraulic steering and an aftermarket turbo. It is based on an OEM chassis, but aftermarket chassis and boat sides are available. You must run stock suspension pickup points. Reinforcing is allowed. Must run full front plastics. Maximum of 1,000cc maximum engine and a 35-inch tire. And then the Open Class is dream it, build it, come race it. The Pro R came in a few years ago with a 2,000cc. That is allowed there. So that's kind of the rundown on the UTVs. When we get a few more of the EMCs and such, I'll run through those. But it looks like we have another Can-Am getting ready to take off. Again, it's going to be very important for everybody here on site and back at home. ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com. And that is Eric Gilbert. Got to switch a page here. He's got Joe Fabrizio riding shotgun out of Mulvane, Kansas with Gilbert Racing, part of the Pro Modified class in his Can-Am Maverick R, JSR Performance, The Insurance Guys, CT Raceworks, and UTV Race Shop. His first Ultra 4 USA was last year in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We need to give a huge shout out to Kyle and Larry and the entire Badlands staff. They've done some amazing things for us the last few years, and they just keep stepping up and making it a lot of fun to race here. Also need to give a shout out. We got a lot of volunteers here on site to help everything keep moving. The Ultra 4 USA staff, media, safety, USAC, racers, fans, and all of our marketing partners. I'm going to flip over, see if anybody's chatting in the YouTubes. Looks like Kevin P. is tuned in from Fountain Hills, Arizona. Thanks for checking us out. And Dustin Robbins still has that 141, 3 seconds faster than Gavin Smith. Looks like Kurt Mackey just got a 229. Hunter Biddle got a 321. So that's going to be Jet Chambers with a 2-minute flat as the Youth 1K. And it does say on ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com, after they run, it'll show you what class they are in. And it looks like it's the number 62 of Philip Daniels out of Petoskey, Michigan, with PD Racing, part of the stock class, and his Polaris RS1. Countywide Power Sports, BLR Suspension, JKK Fab, and PD Insulation. And this is his first Ultra 4 USA race, so making his debut right here, right now. Looks like we're teching the drone a little bit, still trying to get one more camera up out on course, so I do apologize, but we're doing our best with a small team. Looks like Jonathan Terhun's in the house. We'll try to get him in here. The fastest EMC car of the day, because he's the only EMC car that's went. So please support who supports the sport. Without all of these amazing marketing partners, we would not be here racing for the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. So we need to thank King Shocks, Maxxis Tires, Metal Cloak, G-Force, PCI, Factor 55, Spider Tracks, Freight Factory, who hauls 40,000 truckloads of Monster Energy every year. Rock Crawler Suspension, NorCal Rock Racing, All Things UTV, Branik Motorsports, who is here on site and the presenting sponsor, Warren Racing, and Monster Energy. So everything seems like it's running pretty smooth. Haven't heard much chatter over the PCI race radio. And we got another car off the line. That's William Vargo. Believe he's in the Pro Mod class. And yes, he is, out of Fowlerville, Michigan, making his Ultra 4 USA debut with the Rollover King Racing, part of the Pro Modified class. Polaris Diamondback Builders. Go ahead and get a headset on, buddy. So we got Jonathan Terhune, part of Team Indiana, hopping in the Big B studio. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Good morning, Miles.
Well, I was kind of giving you grief because you're the fastest 4,800 car of the day.
Everybody said, how did it go? I said, I set the pole.
But it's the only 4,800 car that has gone so far. But I'm always giving you a hard time because we're buddies. But you had a 144, if I remember right. Yeah, 144.
Higher up the list.
Yeah,
there. That's pretty cool.
You're third overall, first in class, and I really think that time is going to be towards the faster side of things. We were guessing right around a minute. We were way off.
Way off. It's the sand and the dirt here robs your power. There were several times going into some of those corners or trying to go up a hill or something where I was trying to downshift because it felt like it was lugging in second gear and I was still in first. It just, the dirt and the sand here just sucks the power out of your car.
So much traction because we have had some moisture in the ground. So you don't have a traction issue. You might have a little bit of horsepower issue. And if I remember right, you're around that 600 mark, right?
Yeah, probably a little under.
Yeah. So, I mean, not taking anything away, that's a lot of horsepower. I remember I thought I was cool back in high school with my 200 horsepower Camaro.
That's it. Running in low range usually it gets some good torque going, but not out here. This wet sand just sucks it in.
So it looks like that's the number 62 of Philip McDaniels. I think he's already out on course. No, that was the number 3 of Dan Smallwood out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, with Limbitty's off-road part of the open class. He's in a Polaris, preferred drywall, MRT, BLR suspension, Brunton's Last Resort, and Hater Maker Performance. Making his Ultra 4 USA debut is Dan Smallwood out on course. And we do got a time for Hunter Biddle with a 3:21. But it's still Dustin Robbins with that 1:41, then Gavin Smith, and then Jonathan Terhune in that third with a 1:44. Brandon Anderson, Eric Gilbert, Jeremy Blackburn, Reed Murnahan, Dan Hill, William Vargo, and Carter Gonzalez are our top 10. That is all intermixed. Again, go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing we have here in the Big B studio.
Yeah, I appreciate the way they're doing just open qualifying where you can run when you want. It's a little different. Usually we run by class.
That kind of caught me off guard, but he said, let's do it. And I was like, you're not hurting my feelings.
Trailer's just 2 down from the line here. And I'm like, there's nobody going. I'll just get this done with. I'm got nothing to do now till Saturday night. So
you are? Oh, you got to go enjoy yourself at the hog.
Minute and 44 seconds worth of work done, and I'm done for another almost 36 hours.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, we got another one off the line. This should be Todd Rimmery, number 143. Turbo Todd Rimmery out of Bennington, Nebraska with TR Racing in his Can-Am with Maxxis, TR Construction, G-Force, CT Raceworks, and JW Race Prep. So he's got he's brother-in-laws with Kurt Mackey, so they'll have a little smack talk to see what's going on. But talking about the whole hog roast that Team Indiana is putting on, Chad Hunt and Rick Murray said they were going to fire it up last night at midnight. I haven't made it over there, but I think I've smelled it once or twice.
It's on there. It was all wrapped up in foil. And the coals were going before midnight. Got it thrown on there. It's looks and smells real good. It's going to be a good afternoon for us.
Yeah, you guys always know how to throw a party, and you're inviting everybody that's here on site over, so that's pretty cool for you guys. We do thoroughly appreciate it. Did I miss anything when I ran over there and checked on something?
Didn't see anything. Nobody off the line yet. Who's this?
So Philip Daniels took off a little bit ago. I haven't seen him, but out on course is definitely Dan Smallwood and Todd Rimmery. And now we have Carol Mikolov, number 728, out of Franklin Park, Illinois, with Carroll Racing in her Polaris. And I believe they raced this race last year, so starting once again. Let's see, who was that? They came across in a hurry.
I didn't see one pop up.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
have to be the timing truck is down there. I know they've got all their cameras and stuff set up. So
and they've got backups for backups. We'll get it all squared away before we start later on this afternoon. And what time we starting later? I think 5:30, right? Yep. We were going to have a Youth 1000 race by themselves, but you have to have 5 racers in your class to have your own race. So we just joined them in with the stock and the open. They will take a rear start for safety concerns, but I think they're all right. And they were going to run 2 laps, but they had a talk with Trotter afterwards and wanted 3. So they're going to go out there for 3 full laps racing with the big dogs. And I think lap traffic on that 3rd lap could get interesting.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a little bit of catching each other towards the end of that race. But, yeah, found out 4800's doing 8 laps. And I was sitting there like, 8 laps? I don't know if I want to do outlets. And then these kids are going, we want to do more laps. And I'm like, you know what? Sack it up, old man. You can do 8.
I like your style.
These kids, I know they weren't, like, intentionally talking smack to me, but I kind of felt a little bit like, you know what? Get yourself together, old man. These kids want to go the distance. You can, too.
100%. All right. So it looks like Cody Willenborg, number 529, with Randy Dassenbach riding shotgun out of Herrick, Illinois, with CW Motorsports. Part of the open class in his Polaris Pro R, AMS, All Balls, Tire Spine, Bellray, I&W Fab, Braille Batteries, Optimate, Polaris Razor, and CW Motorsports. So we've had, looks like 18 cars take the course. So, we're just shy of a third. We're probably about a quarter of the way through right now. And this coverage of Ultra 4 USA for the Badlands Branik Brawl is presented by Branik Motorsports and is brought to you by our official sponsors, Monster Energy, Warren Racing, PCI, Metal Cloak, and by NorCal Rock Racing.
728 came across the finish.
728. That is Carroll, third in class, 8th overall with a 150. So very, very respectful run.
142 off the line there.
What class was that?
Like a 45.
That's what I was going to say. One. Oh, that's Brandon Reed. That should be a 4,800 car if I remember right. So Brandon Reed is in the 4,500 class, I apologize, with Brad Reed riding shotgun out of Burrida, Michigan, with Reed Brothers Racing and Fab, in a home-built Bronco chassis with an LS 5.3, Method race wheels, Redline oil, Runs Prime Racing, and Urban 3D. His first race was Ultra 4 in Crandon last year and won his first race, so that's pretty impressive. So we'll see where his time stacks up to yours.
I think I saw, do you got a time on the 529 over there?
There's a lot going on up here, isn't it, buddy?
That's why I'm trying to run. I got the pen and paper out so I can take notes for
Oh,
you.
look at this. Cody Willenborg, fastest run of the day with a 1:40.277. So great run for Cody Willenborg, just bumping Dustin Robbins into that second position. And let's talk about that. For qualifying, you get 7 points for being the fastest qualifier in your class. So that can make a big difference. This is round number 2. We'll get into the points during their races because I'll have some downtime. But during qualifying, it's pretty action-packed, so I'll just kind of keep to the point.
It sounds well, 1,000 points for a race, 7 for qualifying. But at the end of the year,
it can be won by just a couple points.
There's usually a couple guys that are right there, and that will make the difference. So good to see him, see who gets the fast time in every class here.
So Alan Burton with Scott Burton riding shotgun out of Newton, Illinois, with Burton Boys Racing, part of the open class, and his Can-Am, MRT, Raceline wheels, Beck-built chassis, RCV, Southern Illinois, and Machine. And let's finish up on the point. So first place gets 1,000, second place gets 975, third place gets 965, and then it's 5 on less, as long as you complete one full lap. Whether it's short course, whether it's an endurance race, all you have to do is get one full lap to get finishing points. Otherwise, you get 200 to basically just start the race.
Yep. And
you've been there. We've all been there.
No, I've not started a race before that I showed up to. I finally got my first official DNS one time. Did not start.
Where was it?
That was,
it was Rush, Kentucky. Yeah.
The car was falling off and found it in line for the race.
So it was better safe than sorry.
But that 45-142 came across. Should be first and 45, I think.
So what was the number again?
I believe it was a 142. 4,500.
Yep, so that's a first in class, 13th overall with a 156.
$15.71's just taken off the line. You got the 2220, I believe, should be finishing up here in just a second.
So Mike B, we are in Attica, Indiana at the Badlands Off-Road Park. I'm set up right now by the Badlands Off-Road Park big billboard by the Power Sports store. Josh Pitts is here in Attica. John Dawes. Brown's Extreme Rock Racing. Everybody's tuning in. We thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. So who just
2220 just finished.
2220. That's Alan Burton, third in class, third overall with a 143. So just about 1 second faster than you. That's pretty impressive. But it's still Cody Willenborg with a 140, fastest time to beat thus far. And we just had a car take off. Looks like Scott Burton, 1571.
Yep, 1571 on a course. 131 will be the next. Both side by sides.
I have 1157. What'd I say? Alan Burton or Scott Burton? Scott. Borrow that.
I'm interested to see 4,400 times versus the 4,900s, because this part of the course that we're qualifying on, like I said, is the horsepower robbing part. That's where really the difference in the side-by-side versus the big car. I think,
it's a big difference.
Going to get the pole.
Yeah, I think so, because like you're talking about
overall, I think it's going to go side-by-side, because there's some high-speed stuff out there where they can just float and be able to go. But
yeah, we were setting up course in our Can-Am Maverick car, and we kissed 60 miles an hour on that backstretch, and we were just cruising. So I'll guarantee we'll see speeds upwards of 100 miles an hour. So it looks like Phil Stratman, the number 131, is taking off. Pinball Phil. With Taylor riding shotgun out of Villa Ridge, Missouri with TTP Racing, part of the open class, and his Can-Am X3, RCV, JB Scale Graphics, MRT, King Coating, Big St. Charles. Getting a little caught up. Everybody's been talking.
sending these cars, every car going, about every minute, well, less than 2 minutes apart. It keeps you talking. You know, got time, one-man show here. You got a lot of time to be texting, man. Put the phone down. You got work to do. Oh, you're not going to listen to me give you a hard time.
Sorry, the boss man was texting me, so I'm responding.
Okay, I guess it is work.
My phone or my watch was disconnected, so I missed a bunch of texts this morning. Obviously, I'm doing some other things, so trying to get caught up on the office.
Yeah. So, looked like we had the 1571 and 131 may have finished already. You got times on them?
131, Phil Stratman, third overall with a 141, so that's pretty impressive. What was the other number?
1571.
That's Scott Burton with a 155. Well, Terhune, you're keeping me honest. I appreciate it, buddy.
This next car coming off the line, I couldn't read it. It's getting ready to finish here in about the next 20 seconds. It looked like it might have been a 258, but and then I think we've got 0618. I think the Gilbert kid's out on the course right now.
So that's the number 205 of Mike Walters out of Brazil, Indiana, with Podium 1 Engineering in the open class, and his Can-Am with Power Sports Nation, 834 Motorsports, Smithwell Drilling, Barry Miller Racing, Lithgow Motorsports, Tire Spine, and Double E Racing. And then Aiden Gilbert, the number 618, with his dad, Casey Gilbert, who was in the booth with me just a moment ago, out of Fenton, Michigan, with Gilbert Brothers Motorsports in the stock class, with Gilbert Brothers Motorsports in his Polaris, MRT, All Things UTV, Branik, Big B. And his biggest sponsors are Mom and Dad with Alliance Tree Services. He started in the 170s, if I remember right, back in the day, right?
I don't think he was 170. I think his little sister did the
Okay.
170s, and I think he did the Youth 1000 program. Though.
I think he raced 170 back at AOP years ago.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, and then he moved his way to the Youth 1K, and now he's running with the big dogs in the stock class. So far, so good.
I keep asking Casey when he's gonna his original Miller car when he's gonna retire that and give it, let your kid drive your old car. Is kind of what you do.
He's raced it a few times.
And get Casey a new car. I want to see both of them going tire to tire with each other. That's what I want to see.
Looks like that's Jeff Flanagan.
The 869 and 4800.
This is a little tough here. So Jeff Flanagan and Eric James, number 869 out of Disney, Oklahoma, with Flanagan Motorsports in a bent fab chassis with an LS3. Max's Tires, Max Motorsports, Kenny's Island Spirits, Schultz Creek Campground and Disney, Rocks and Docks Rentals.
Did you get a time on Gilbert there?
Aiden Gilbert. First in class, 7th overall with a 146. So you still have bragging rights over him.
You know that car on the line right there? I can't read the number from here, but your eyes better than mine.
That's going to be Brian Moore. Just can't read it, but I can just see it.
We got a couple 4800s going now, so I can get a better
Yeah,
gauge
so
on
you'll see where you're stacking up.
out here just racing side by sides for now. I want to see how I am against the competition here.
We've got about 1/3 of our cars have qualified. I haven't seen any of the 4400s yet, but I see a couple of them getting lined up. We'll see how it all shakes out. So Jeff Flanagan is out on course to number 869.
We haven't had any rollovers or anything else. I heard one guy missed the course.
I heard somebody's still out driving along. They're out for a trail ride now.
Very clearly, blue arrows qualifying, orange arrows are going to start at the back. But
So that's either Philip Daniels or Dan Smallwood. I both of them as DNFs on my list.
might have been a 62 on there. Is that Philip Daniels? So,
Yep, 62.
Bummer for him, but part of this sport is navigation. Get your pre-run in, know where the course is.
That's part of it.
And people have started from the back before and done really well, so it's not like your race is over.
I mean, JP Gomez has won King of the Hammer starting from 99th position just a couple of years ago. So off the line there is Brian Moore with his nephew David, number 4818 out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, with Moore Racing in a Blue Torch Fab chassis, LS3 with 525 horsepower, ORI, Nacho Lights, Max's Tires, and his 401k. So great to see all these competitors out here on course having some fun.
But what I was getting at, we haven't seen any rollovers yet.
Not yet. It
And
could happen.
I think there might be one at some point.
Like you said, that there's so
Because
much traction. The ruts are starting to get dug
the
in.
ruts are deep in the sand, and you can just lay into them and carry some speed into it, and all of a sudden you're on two wheels
You're
going,
biking,
woohoo!
And then we'll
Ask-
see if you can make it.
Ask me how I know.
You did that on the qualifying
I was
round.
like, I'm going to be the idiot that rolls over right where you can see up top there where they got those banner flags. It was the sand ruts will grab you.
All right. You almost lost it, but you kept it under control.
It was. I anticipated it might happen, so gave it a little counter steer, and it was good. But I'm curious to see, especially these big cars. I think that's where the higher center of gravity from the side by sides.
Okay.
We might see something kick up here. So
No, it's always
hope
interesting.
nobody has issues, but
It could.
as
Hey,
far
you
as,
never know.
my spectator side, everybody watches NASCAR for the crash.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people watch NASCAR.
Well, that's why a lot of people watch you.
Every once in a while, if you're going to do it right, Miles?
100%. So just want to thank everybody for tuning in and being here on site for the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in beautiful Attica, Indiana. And we're just barely on the Eastern time zone. Hearing a little bit of chatter over the PCI Race Radio. Sounds like somebody broke out on course. So we got our safety and recovery teams out there.
I was hoping I didn't jinx them with the rollover.
Yeah,
that
no
comment.
doubt.
Like, I didn't make them do that. Please don't. But
And this is our second race in the Ultra 4 Central Series. Yeah, if you find one of your friends and want to trade out with, do it, buddy. I mean, you said you're done for the day, so you can start hanging out.
So I wanted to go qualify earlier so I could get breakfast, and then my FOMO kicked in, so I walked over here to look at times and watch the racing. Now I'm sitting here instead of
and still haven't had breakfast, huh?
Yeah, but now again, most of the drivers are big fans of the sport. I'm sitting here watching times, watching racing. Was just out there, but just as excited to sit here and watch these guys do their runs too. So. And appreciate what you do, Miles, bringing the information to us.
I do my best. There's a lot of moving parts, and like I said, we got a small team, but we pull it all together. And thanks to you, all your guys, and without all the great racers we have in our family, we wouldn't be doing it. So it takes a full team to do it, and we're making it happen.
We're going to try to support the live feed. I think at least Dawes has got a mobile setup where he's going to try to get a camera out for you.
And Justin Sherwin's got one.
So see what we can do. I think just ask you, can we just volunteer to get some better coverage out there and get just a couple more angles? Because there's some really cool stuff in this park.
And you know where it's at better than me.
They already know where to go. We've been here hundreds of times. But if you can bring that to the action, I think it'll make it really exciting. I really want to show off what the Badlands in Indiana has to offer. I think everybody's familiar with one of everything here. You've got mud holes, sand, rocks, creek, quarry, everything. But really want to show what the action looks like. And it's the toughest thing about our sport. The cool spots are hard to get to, and the boring spots are easy to get to. So we get a couple of us that know the park and work some cameras into the cool spots.
Yeah.
And hopefully show some of the cool actions that have. Yeah, I feel like we haven't sent a car off the line in a while. So
I think that guy's broke on courses. What I heard over the PCI race radio.
Hopefully nothing catastrophic. Just got a few hours if he's racing tonight or got till tomorrow, but hopefully get it fixed up and has some parts. Or as it works in this sport, I'm sure somebody in this park has something that can get them fixed up, and we try to help each other. So.
And speaking of that, the Power Sports store, they got a little bit of everything in there. Obviously, for a car like yours is pretty one-off. They don't have much for that. But for all the UTVs, you got about anything you need.
Focus on the UTVs here. So if you got an OEM or an aftermarket for any of the brands, I'm sure they've got some kind of parts here that would work for something. The other thing, the units for sale. Have you seen how many units they stock here?
So where our main camp is up top, when we got here, there was probably 300 brand new units there, and they moved them all in one day so we could set up camp. And it's amazing what they have here. I think it's the biggest dealer, the second biggest UTV dealer this side of the Mississippi.
So that's if you're a UTV buyer, people don't like to order and wait. If you're looking for something in stock, you can literally just show up today. You could probably come today and buy a machine and ride it all weekend. They've got them sitting here.
And they got rentals as well, too. I mean, the Badlands Park has it going on. They got a lot of great things happening.
Yeah, if you're even thinking about getting a side-by-side, come, try before you buy the rental program. Great way to see if a side-by-side is right for you.
Looks like Jeremy Brown and his team is tuned in. Michaela is rooting on Nick Anderson, who is doing double duty racing in both UTV classes. I believe he's racing in the stock and the pro modified. Trying to get old Chad hunting here. He won't do it, huh?
I haven't raced qualified. I need to get it done.
All right.
So Nikki's bringing you breakfast.
Oh, I appreciate it. I feel like I'm working the drive-through here with the headset on, getting orders.
You want a number 3? Or what is a number 3?
Lunch or breakfast?
You tell me. Both.
Number 3 is the old, no, it's not the quarter, but is the chicken sandwich now? I don't know.
I'm throwing you under the bus. I'm sorry, buddy.
I try to act cool, but it's been a while since I've had the headset on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Back in the day, though.
You only do it in a pinch, I guess, right?
It's a bad day if I have to put the headset on. Luckily, haven't had a bad day in a long time.
Jason Farley's tuned in, rooting on Rufus Racing. And sorry for the little delay in action. I believe it was Brian Moore who is broke down out on course, so we'll get that squared away. Hey, somebody said a burrito. That doesn't look like a tortilla. But hey, if you wanna bail out for a minute and eat real quick, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
We'll rotate somebody in here.
Keep your ear out on that radio. See what we still haven't sent a car off the line, so kind of curious what we're missing here.
Still doing a little tech on the drone. I do apologize. We'll get it back in the air as soon as we can. So sounds like the course is clean. We're just waiting for our recovery guy to get back in his spot, and we'll be back in action. Oh, I see why he's not in position, because he's dragging Brian Moore out of the way. So not sure what happened. I know he had electrical issues in Oklahoma, so I'm not sure if that bit him again or not. But Brian Moore is back to main camp, and we'll get our recovery guy back in action. And Jeremy Blackburn's third in class, 12th overall with a 148. Team Indiana hooking us up here in the Big B studio as always. I guess they're feeding us breakfast and lunch this weekend, so can't complain on that. Again, the course is clear. We're just waiting for recovery to get back into their spots.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
Well, so far, so good. We have qualified about 25 cars so far. We've got, I think, 75 in total that should take the green flag this weekend. Brian Moore is out there and had some issues. But if you are just tuning in, this is the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. This is our second race in the Central Series, and so far, so good. Got a pretty good crowd out here. A lot of racers, a lot of fans, a lot of spectators, a lot of just kind of wreck wheelers that get to go check out the Ultra 4 course during the day, and then we close it down, lock it up, and go racing this evening. So tonight we start at 5:30. And then tomorrow night we start at 5:30 as well. We do have a Youth 170 race tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But tonight and tomorrow night, we go live racing at 5:30 till roughly 10 each night, I would guess. Obviously, it depends on how smooth the races go, but 5:30 to 10 both nights. And there we got James with the Believe Cam drone back in action. Did a little tech behind the scenes. I didn't. Chris with Take It Live got it handled. Him and James got in touch and got it back in action. And during the race, we'll have a couple extra cameras out on course. I believe Benji's out there, and he has a camera, but obviously he's having a little bit of difficulties going on. Not exactly sure what's happening. And we are back to qualifying. It is a UTV. I'll see who pops up. Oh, that's Brandon Davis, the number 256, with Clint Garrison riding shotgun out of Huntsville, Alabama. With Davis racing in the open class, and that Miller Brothers built Can-Am X3 with Raceline wheels, Mickey Thompson tires, gear grabber, Freedom lifts, and RCV. He is also racing in the 4400 class as well, and a brand new Joe Thompson built UFO that he'll be racing with Ultra 4 and in rock bouncing as well. And we got our fastest qualifier of the day thus far is Cody Willenborg with a 140.277. That's a pretty good run. How you feeling about it?
It was good. We made a couple mistakes out there, left a few seconds on the track probably, but there's some good heavy hitters coming up behind me yet, so we'll just see if we can make it stick.
Yeah. So what do you think about the course? I was guessing about a 110, and you're a fast driver, so if you're 30 seconds behind my guess, I was way off. There's no way we can gain 30 seconds out on that course.
I would say there's probably a good 5 seconds out there. So
five, maybe 10, but yeah. So we're 130's plausible.
Yeah. For me, top 3 qualifying place is great. I actually don't like leaving on the pole. It's a heck of a battle to, always be
It's
out.
a mind game because are you pushing hard enough? Are you pushing too hard? You don't have that dust to chase. You are the dust.
Yes, at Davis, at Davis, I did that. I put 7.5 minutes on the second place guy, and we broke the car, because we were just pushing so hard. So I'd be fine if we can stay in the top 3, and we'll go out there and give those guys a hard time.
So you hope somebody bumps you out. But, I mean, if you have to be the fastest guy of the day, I guess you're not going to cry about it.
We'll take it for sure, yeah. So
Dylan Harper, number 4954, out of Columbia, South Carolina, with Harper Enterprises, part of the open class, and his Polaris. Wants to give a shout out to his newborn son, Jack, his wife, Dylan Moto X, and Bikeman Performance with PRP. He started racing with us last season, so great to see him keeping with it. We got the Believe Cam drone on your top right, and there we go. We got Benji on course on the top left. I'll have to tell him to turn his camera sideways, it looks like.
It's a fun course out there, though. It's going to be fast. I was hoping for a little bit more challenging sections, but that downhill will be interesting. Have any of the Power Sports Nation boys went into the Dickey clan?
Nope, not yet. Not the Dickies, nope. But yeah, they're always fun to race with,
they are
aren't they?
fun. Yeah, that's a fun group of guys to hang out with for sure too. So
you camp down with them?
Nope, we're actually in the campground.
You went fancy and got electricity and water, and
it's nice when you come to this park. Badlands has some great amenities, and it's a fun park to go to. And this is close for home for me. So it's a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it?
We'll take all these we can get. That's for sure.
So off the line there, I believe was the number 98 of Jason Washburn out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with wide open design in the open class, and that wide open design single seat chassis with a Polaris Turbo R, Radflow, RCV, PRP, and Warn. That's a pretty cool car. Have you been around it much?
Yes,
I love that. Adam
cool.
Woodley has been around the sport for a very long time and just has his own touch that I absolutely love. And then Jason Washburn works for Adam Woodley and takes some time off to go playing with us. So again, make sure you go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have here in the Big B studio. All part of the Branik Motorsports Brawl here at Badlands Off-Road Park here in Attica, Indiana. And just like you were saying, Cody, the amenities here are great. The Power Sports store, they've got multiple houses and cabins, and they got full hookups down where you're at. I mean, this place is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great place to come ride. You know, it has a little bit of everything. It's got some gnarly rocks out in the rock quarry. It's got some good sand stuff, so we'll see some high speed. And this is very King of the Hammers feeling, you know, on kind of a smaller scale, you know. So
obviously don't have quite the rocks out there, but they've got everything else.
Exactly.
So it tests it to the limits. Is that Paul Wolf? Possibly. Yes, it is.
Well, we'll
so
see
we'll see if your time will stick, because if somebody could bump you, it could be the 1018 of Paul Wolf out of Alton, Illinois, with Wolf Racing in his Can-Am, Badlands Off-Road Park, Alltech, VP, Nitto, Raceline, and RCV.
my little baby.
I heard something. I was like, "What is it?" So you're FaceTiming and helping me on the booth, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
jump
like it.
off here, but you had a baby born right after I got home from King of the Hammers, so.
There we go. I had to tell Benji he was upside down. I didn't think he rolled his machine, but so he's about the halfway mark. Do you kind of remember where that is on qualifying? You'd say that halfway or so?
I'd say that's about right. Yes.
All right. This is a just shy of 1 mile qualifying loop. So it took us a little bit to get everything dialed in. It's been a busy weekend, and we got a small team, but we're making it happen. So your top right is the James with Believe Cam. Top left is Benji with Recovery as Paul Wolf blows through there. Bottom left is the Branik Motorsports start finish. And then bottom right is Cody and myself here in the Big B studio.
I know you guys are doing great with this live. I know you're doing it on a very small budget and short staff, but it's something to get back to everybody at home watching. I think that's super awesome.
Well, I appreciate it, because it is a lot of work. And I mean, our old live shows were $30,000 a show. That's not sustainable. So now we're in that 5 to 10 range or something, but it's still money, and that's what it's all about.
What do you do?
And you just said, yep, Paul Wolf gets a 140. Oh, my goodness. So Paul Wolf is a 140.249. You're a 140.277. So you can't even see that difference. So if you lost 5 seconds, so did he. You guys are neck and neck. But you will take off. I believe we're going to do a 30-second time split on race day. And when do you race?
Tonight.
Yeah,
so,
you guys are our first
class.
Race.
Yep. So we got Nick Anderson coming through yet. I've not seen him through, so he'll also be a big heavy hitter for us.
Yep, Nick Anderson and Anthony Denny, number 3402 out of Canton, Georgia, with Anderson Racing, part of the open class. Well, he's racing open and stock. Which one's this one?
Battery level is low.
So this is his pro modified car. Well, it's the same car, but he's racing pro mod.
Yep.
He's a Can-Am Maverick R, Metal FX, CT Raceworks, UTV Race Shop, Infinite Off-Road, Evo, Tire Spine, and PRP. And I heard over the PCI race radio something about being stalled out. I don't know if that's Anderson or not. And then Paul Wolf pulls his UTV right back in line because he's racing Pro Mod and Open. But he's saying, come look at something. Oh, so it sounds like Nick Anderson possibly could be having some issues out on course. They're saying leave the car, make sure it's in a safe position. Hate to hear that for him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for those guys. Those guys have a great race program and put a lot into the sport. And super nice people too, the Anderson family. I met them, last year racing, and just absolutely great people. So I'd much rather be seeing him come through there battling me and Paul, so we have some fun. But hey, corrected time's a real thing, and he can drive, so ain't nothing that says he won't come from the back and still be a competitor tonight.
And then he'll have adjusted time on his side at the end of the race.
Yes.
So let's explain that for a little bit. So this is qualifying, get everything set up for the race. And then when you race, you take off one at a time every 30 seconds. So your time starts when you race. So if you start 4 back, that means you have a 2-minute lead on first place if you catch them.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So
you know,
it's interesting.
if you get within 45 seconds of the leader, you are technically winning the race by
Yep.
corrected time. So corrected time can really help you in your favor. He's going to have a mess of people to go through, especially with the mud out there. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But hey, if somebody can pull it off, it'd be Nick for sure.
And then let's talk about lap traffic, bottlenecks. If somebody flips over in the wrong spot and blocks the course, that slows everybody down behind the people out front, like yourself. If you are in front of the bottleneck, you get that lead. So there's so much strategy and everything that goes into it. And then it goes out the window when you start racing. Because I'm sure you've had a strategy, and then you just can't quit driving fast, right?
Yep. We had a really good plan going into qualifying today, and missed a little bit of a turn and took a different line, I guess you could say, out of the corner and totally set us up differently. So you just had to make it go as it's thrown to you.
Yep. Roll with the punches, as I like to say.
Make the best of it. That's for sure. You know, that's racing.
So John Holtzman, Nathan Anderson, Cheryl Davis, Christy Anderson, and Budget YJ.
I bet he did.
Roxy should be done with hers at some point. Pam has a spare one. Dave has a spare one. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me now, but this is Miles super multitasking right now. He's helped running the race program plus doing the live feed. So, you know, these guys are just absolutely making the best of what they got to work with. Just got informed that Paul said he thought he left a few seconds out there. He ran the car in automatic mode, so he's going to run it in manual mode this time. He's going to hand shift it, so we'll see if he can make up that 5-second gap that I thought was possibly out there on the track. Miles jumping back in the studio.
Man,
here.
there's a lot going on. We got a couple Starlinks running us. We got a registration. They need it down at the start line. There's crashed, I guess. I don't know, but we're getting it figured out. We got a baby game plan.
That's all that matters.
Just like racing, you have a game plan, and when it go time, you have to just, when in doubt, figure it out.
That is correct.
So thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park. Getting everything checked out. We're on the Ultra 4 USA YouTube, and then also go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have here in the Big B studio. And then it's not important now, but make sure you go to livemap.racingtracks.com later. So go to racingtracks.com, go to Badlands Brawl live map. Oh, so somebody was flipped over.
It must be Anderson's because we've not seen anybody come through since they had the trouble, huh?
Yeah. So again, Racing Tracks is not important right now, but it will be later on during the racing. You'll be able to follow your favorite racers. So kind of do a little homework now on Racing Tracks, get that figured out. But right now, what we're using is ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com. And like Cody was just saying, somebody's flipped over, and I'm guessing that's Nick Anderson.
Yeah, his crew's over there on the radio pretty hard heavy with him right now. So I'm sure they're communicating what's going to go on, how they're going to get the car back, probably how hurt the car is. And if anybody can fix it, it's those guys. We'll see them tonight for sure.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Kendall Glines is watching. So far, so good. Just getting everything lined up. But I believe it's Nick Anderson here and somebody on the PCI race rail. Oh, there was probably Nick Anderson right there. So, and he definitely looked off pace. We must have rolled it, got back on wheels, and
just going to take it across the finish line at this point, probably.
Well, if he got recovered, I think this qualifying's done.
You're right.
But they'll be. Oh, and there's Benji, sir. Yep, there's Benji. He's running recovery and a camera. See, we're all multitasking.
It must have been his recovery guy, huh?
Yep. So he'll get another run for his. He's racing 2 classes. And then Paul Wolf's racing 3 classes. He's racing 2 UTVs and 4,400.
Yeah, it looks like they flipped on the passenger side. Maybe the driver's side, too. Both mirrors are folded in and down. Miles is leaving me all unattended in here. Miles left me everything all by myself. We're about to really mess this up, guys. I don't think anyone is out on course just yet. Still probably trying to get it cleared after Nick flopped.
Our drone guy caught his drone a little too much and saw some bandages on hand. I had to go talk to James, make sure he's all right. He's a trooper with it, but it's always something. So we'll get that back in the air here in just a moment. So waiting on some of our cars to get back in line, and I believe this will be our first 4,400 car going off. That looks like it's Patrick Peterson. We'll see when he crosses the line. Believe, and he's got his buddy, his normal co-driver driving for him, Ken Alden. So you can have 1 fill-in driver per season unless there's a medical issue. So Patrick Peterson had a wedding that he could not get out of it. It's not his. He's already married. But he had a wedding he had to go. The car was prepped. It was ready. And he just told his co-driver, is one of his best friends, he's like, take it out there and have fun. How cool is that?
Yep, that's pretty neat,
So if you ever need a fill-in driver, all you got to do is let me know.
We very well may have to use a fill-in for a Joker race in Kentucky. So had some bad luck at the short course and definitely going to need to hit the Joker. And I have a kind of a event with a marketing partner that weekend. I kind of pre-promised I'd be there. So possibly we will utilize the secondary driver on that weekend.
So off the line there as driver of record is Patrick Peterson, but using a fill-in driver of Ken Alden and Kirby Kleiman, number 4447 out of Holman, Wisconsin with Bad Axe Racing. He's in a Brian Maloney chassis with an LQ9, 740 horsepower. He's got Bad Axe Productions, BFG, Raceline, King, Baja Designs, and Rugged Radios.
So good to hear big V8 power come through here pretty soon.
Yeah, we just heard him take off, and James with Believe Cam is going to chase him down. We should see him coming through our top left there with Benji here in just a moment. And then the Branik Motorsports start finish is just on our bottom left. And that's a UTV coming in.
We must have missed one taking off.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know who that was. Oh, they're they weren't supposed to be out there. Whoops. He doesn't have a transponder. That's why we didn't know who it was. That was a rider that got a little lost, it looks like. So at least we got him safely off course.
Badlands does have the park open for the public today, so makes racing a little bit interesting. They got a pretty good marked off for qualifying, and then they're going to close the park for us to race this evening. So pretty cool. If you are out and about local, bring the rides out, come out and ride today, and stay and watch some awesome racing tonight. That's for sure. Not very many places you can do that.
Yeah, you can come out during the day and you can run in an Ultra 4 course. How cool is that?
A name I have not seen, Miles, this weekend is Jay Shaw. Is he here this weekend?
I do not believe so. But speaking of Jay Shaw, there's one of his old cars that just took off with an old name of Rusty Bray out of Richmond, Kentucky with Bray Motorsports in his Pro Mod class. And his Can-Am bought by from Jay Shaw, Amco Transmission of Kentucky. Do you recognize Rusty Bray name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So when I first got in the sport, 07, 08, him and Shannon Campbell were the two top dogs in the XRRA. And then when King of the Hammers kind of spun, he raced a little bit, but life happens and had kids. He slowed down. But when I saw his name pop up for Bowling Green earlier this season, I was pretty stoked. So we chatted back and forth and reminisced, and I hope to catch up with him with a cold beverage one of these nights.
That's
Just a good dude.
been giving back to the sport for a very long time.
Yeah, man, he was awesome, and I'm excited to see what he can do against yourself. I mean, he's going to give you a run for your money. Well, he's in pro mod, so I guess we'll see what his time does.
Yep. You know, the classes have really changed over the years. You know, pro mod was always kind of the elite class, and with the pro Rs out now, you know,
with the open class has really stepped up.
It's becoming a hot, you know. I would love to be able to run the pro mod class, but unfortunately, where the rules fall, we're only stuck in the open class. Something I'm going to protest real hard at the end of this year. So
you're not going to hurt my feelings. I got nothing to do with that.
I want to race 2 times, you know, like everybody else. We just want to come out here and race. And, you know, the pro R is no better than the Mav R at this point.
Sounds like you need to just get a second car. Those turbo Rs aren't bad.
Yeah, that's a whole second set of parts you got to carry and
get
everything else.
So off the line there is Adam Brown with Alan Clark, number 334 out of Selma, Alabama, with all geared up racing in the open class. He's got a Polaris Pro R with a Craftworks Supercharger, MRT, CA Technologies, PPEI tuning, Craftworks, and Trail Armor.
You know, Adam can definitely drive too. That thing sounds wicked with that supercharger.
Yeah, that's supercharged.
So.
It just sings to the moon, it sounds like. It's pretty wild.
For sure it does. You know, he's Adam does a whole bunch of Honda Talon transmission work, so he's deep in the industry. Yeah,
okay.
He's like the guy if you have a Honda Talon that needs some training work. So
I'm surprised if he's so into Honda Talons that he isn't racing one.
You know, I give him hell about that. But,
what's he say?
They're 10 years behind in technology.
Okay.
Let's be honest, and you know they just wouldn't compete out here at this level, unfortunately, anymore.
I mean, Honda is an elite name, just not quite in UTV yet. I think they've got some. Some tricks up their sleeve. I know Kawasaki's got some new stuff coming out. Yep. Obviously, Polaris and Can-Am are definitely at the top of the game in off-road racing.
Yeah, you know, Honda definitely has the ability to do it. It's just, you know, they're a very conservative company, and
so we went Adam Brown through Benji's camera on the top left, and then it looks like taking off here. Waiting for it to update.
You'll see a pretty good finish out of Adam, I believe, and you see him come through here.
So we got Tim Hooper coming to check out some times. And look at this. Paul Wolf is still out front with that 140. Then it's Cody Willenborg. Then Dustin Robbins, Phil Stratman, Alan Burton, Adam Brown, Gavin Smith. Did we get a time for Patrick Peterson?
Miles, I am jumping off here.
Okay.
So I'm going to thank you for having me.
Cody, always a pleasure, and we'll see you this evening. And if you get bored, come by and see me again.
We will for sure, man. Thanks a lot.
Take her easy. So it looks like that was the 417 of Justin Barth and Paul Geisenhagen out of Springfield, Missouri with Barth Racing. He's in this stock class with his Can-Am Maverick R, MRT, ZRP, G-Force, CT Raceworks. And then hopping in the Big B studio is Tim Hooper, part of the 4400 class. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, buddy. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, so you're out here with the Fuelworks car, and you're going to put some laps in, huh?
Well, that's the plan. I feel like this is the worst prepared we've been for a while.
I don't hear you say that very often.
Life happens, I guess, sometimes.
I get that.
We've never been here before, so we threw everything in the trailer, took off because we've been hearing so much good things about this park. So.
It's beautiful. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's such a cool place, and the terrain is just amazing on how much different stuff is actually here.
How do you have whoops in Indiana?
How about sand dunes?
Yeah, I mean we were blown away with all the different variety of everything.
Because you're on the edge of Arkansas, Oklahoma, right?
Arkansas, Missouri.
Or that's Arkansas. What I meant to say. Yep. Missouri. Yep.
So, to see this type of terrain is just it's really cool.
So Antonio Grijalva is taking off. Flip my page here. One more. So Antonio Grijalva and Raymond Gracia in the 449 Tree out of Mesa, Arizona with Let's Roll Off-Road Racing. And the OG Let's Roll chassis with a Herbert's LS3 with 700 horsepower. Let's Roll Off-Road, Nacho Lights, Mojab Off-Road, Yukon ADS, and Canyon Coolers. So great to see. That's Andrew McLaughlin's old 4400 car that he's dumbed down and put single shocks, 37-inch DOT tires, and it's still a real race car. I love it.
I need to dumb down my car, to be honest with you.
You could, yeah. You could get
Yeah.
a single shock package and put some 37s on it, and give me your 10 cents on the Legends class, because the 4400 cars like yours, they're still amazing machines, but they're hard to keep up with a few of these top-notch cars. So what do you do to them?
Well,
Or what could you do to it?
For me, get me in the tight, get me in the rough, get me in the rocks, and that's where that car really excels. You get out in the wide open, where suspension comes into a huge play, and that's really where it kills me. We've played around with the idea of dropping down a class, but right now, we're doing this because we love the sport, we love everything, we love the family environment that we've got here. So, realistically, if we can compete a little bit, then we're okay. We're having fun, and I'd rather race against the best, right? Because I think every time we go out here, we learn something. So, and by the way, don't come up here just to look at the video screen, because Miles will put you on with a microphone. So,
Yeah, come over, say hey, whatever,
Yeah.
and no pressure either way. You can bail out whenever you want and stay in the background. You're good, buddy.
well, we've been having some issues here just because of a lack of prep, and so I hope we make a qualifying lap till we get back to the trailer to fix some stuff.
Oh, you're even nervous about making a 1 mile qualifying loop?
Yeah, a little bit. That's all right. You know how it is in your mind. Everything's wrong. Nothing's right. So that's all right. We'll give it a shot and see how she goes.
That's what I'm talking about. So I was trying to bait you into explain what a 4800 car is. So a lot of them are specific built. They have to have 2 seats side by side, single shock per corner. A 4400, obviously, most of you guys have coilovers and bypasses.
Yep.
And then a 37-inch DOT tire, which Department of Transportation, the same car that's on your tow rig that's on my Jeep, has to be on that car. So it's not a race tire. So strategy really plays a big factor in the 4800 class.
Yeah, and the Trent Fab cars, they really do well in that 4800 package. And like I said, we've been toying with the idea about doing that. It's just it's hard to take a car and as you say, detune it. But it's definitely, we're not going to be on any podiums with our car, but
Oh, you never know. You don't cut yourself short, buddy.
well, we're all right. If we can kind of take away some of the stupid stuff that's happened here lately, then I think we'll be all right.
So number 1313, Josh Hacker and Tom Biddle are out on course out of Austin, Texas with SS Racing in a TMR chassis, Mass Motorsports, LS 408 stroker, Mickey Thompson tires, Raceline wheels, and Branik Motorsports. He won in Oklahoma just a little bit ago, so great to see him out there running strong.
Yeah, this is kind of unusual for us to have qualifying all lumped in together.
Yeah, when he said that this morning, I was like, this is going to be hard for me because I organize my paperwork, and now there's no organization here, but it is what it is.
And I will say to all the fans out there, you do your research. I mean, before every race, he's usually texting all the drivers, finding out who's co-dogging, what you got going on, this, that, da-da-da. And, also want to give out a shout-out to my co-dog, Daniel Parker. He's one of our he's been a friend of mine for a long time, and then one of our race team supporters with Sureway NWA. So, between Fuelworks, Sureway, and we got 4 Wheel Concepts and Old Town Auto Body that really stepped up here, so makes it easier for us to do.
Yep. No, I appreciate what you bring to the table, and we do our best for sure. So off the line there was Ian Dickey, number 211 out of Norfolk, Nebraska, with PSN Racing in the open class with his Polaris Pro R, Power Sports Nation, Double E, Sedona, PPEI, and Dirty Deeds Dirt Work.
Hey, brother, I'm going to jump off here.
All right.
Hey, good
Tim,
seeing you, baby.
Good luck, and put a show on for us, buddy, and thanks for
We're
chatting.
going to try. Thanks, guys.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
And part of Rufus Racing, we got Dougie Fresh in the house. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
You having some fun, huh?
Yes.
I see Mama Ange is over here checking on you, make sure you're behaving, and so far so good, huh?
Yes. We're going. Chip's going to make the podium tomorrow night, and he's going to run the car good. Not hit no trees or nothing.
Oh, I call BS
And-
on that.
And
You know, you've seen how many trees are here. He's going to hit at least 13 of them.
no, he's not. He's going to do good. He got the best co-driver in the car. His
Brad
name is
Christensen?
Brad
Yep.
Christensen. And they're going to be safe, no flip or nothing. And Scott going to be right behind him.
Yes.
He's just going to run his car hard. They're going to go out and be safe.
Yep, Scott
And-
Farley is going to be running in the 4800 Branik Motorsports Legends
Yes.
class.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's
And-
going to be a lot of fun out there. But
And-
you've been running around with Rufus Racing for a long time, and you've missed a few races recently. So
Yes.
it's good to see you back,
glad
buddy.
to see you back. I miss it. Glad to see everybody.
So it looks like that's Cameron Dickey, number 69, out of Norfolk, Nebraska, with Cameron Dickey Racing, part of the open class. And there's Kawasaki with a Craftworks Superchargers, Power Sports Nation, Brute Performance, Sedona Tire, Double E Racing, and Podium One Racing.
And we got a good manager is Mama Ange.
Mama Ange takes care of her whole clan, doesn't she?
The whole team.
Absolutely. So what are you most excited about this weekend, buddy?
Have a good time. We're gonna be on the podium.
Good times and
Yeah.
getting on the podium. I like
Yes.
it. Do you think Chip or Scott has a better chance? They're racing at the same time, but in different classes.
My opinion is Chip's gonna do it.
Chip's going to do it.
Yeah.
You heard it here from Dougie Fresh. And you can believe about
And-
1/4 of what he says. So
And Brad is co-manager. He's gonna be right in the seat. They're gonna be right up there cheering. We're gonna get a bottle of champagne.
that's what I'm talking about. It should be a great weekend, and we will be giving away some of the Big B hardware tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. We'll give today's races. We'll give the awards will be after the 170 race tomorrow, and then tomorrow night we'll do the back-to-back races podiums after that. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But I'm excited that you think Chip can pull this off.
Yes, he can. He's been around a long time in these cars. He knows how to drive, and he knows how to drive.
And off the line there is Paul Wolf in his Pro Modified time right now out of Alton, Illinois with Wolf Racing in his Can-Am. Sponsored by Badlands Off-Road Park, Alltech, VP, Nitto, Raceline, and RCV. All right, trying to do a little homework here. It seems like everything's working good. All right. So we got a couple more cars out on course. We still have Paul Wolf out there running strong, who is our fastest qualifier of the day thus far. We'll see if he can beat his own time of a 1:40.249, just ahead of Cody Willenborg with a 1:40.277. And then it's Dustin Robbins. Phil Stratman still in that 4 spot. Alan Burton, Adam Brown, Gavin Smith, Jonathan Terhune, Brandon Davis, Aiden Gilbert, Mike Walters, Rusty Bray, Todd Rimmery, Brandon Anderson, and Eric Gilbert. That's your top 15. But remember, go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com. Well, Dougie, it looks like Chip's getting ready to take off, so I'm going to let you hop out of here and have some fun.
I got one more thing.
One more thing.
Okay.
Let's hear it, buddy.
Okay, anybody want to come get his autograph, come over to Rufus Races.
Whose autograph? Your autograph?
Chip.
Oh, I think your
Lawson.
autograph would be
Chip
way better than
Lawson.
his.
Chip, you want to get his picture made with him? Come stand by him over there.
Well, if I'm getting anybody's autograph, it's going to be yours, not Chip's.
Okay.
All right, buddy?
Okay.
All
have a-
right.
have a
Thanks,
good day.
Dougie
Okay.
Fresh.
Bye.
Again, if you're just tuning in, you can hear the horsepower behind me. The big dogs are starting to line up for the 2025 Branik Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. Again, I am Miles Hasselquist trying to bring you the best show we can here. This is qualifying. It is a just shy of 1 mile loop. The fastest time is a 1:40 in a UTV Can-Am by Paul Wolf. And we should get another time, and we do. He just shaved off a half a second. So Paul Wolf is first in Pro Mod and first in Open. So the new fastest time is a 1:39.772. So super solid run. And it looks like Chris Hickman is actually hopping in the 89 car, the Paul Horschel machine, huh? All right, kind of hopping out, getting a little tidbits. So Chris Hickman is actually racing the Horschel four-wheel steer, four-wheel independent car. Paul Wolf is going to co-drive during qualifying, and then Cooper Bentley is actually going to hop in during the race. So Paul Wolf's car owner is going to be racing his own car. So that'll be fun. I hope to see that car as an absolute machine. It's had a little struggles on finishing, so I hope he has some good luck with that. I know Paul Wolf was prepping it, and then all of a sudden I see it show up here. So I'm sure there's some more tricks up the sleeve. We'll see how they shake out. But Chris Hickman looks like he's making his Ultra 4 USA debut. Perfect, thank you. All right, and speaking of, and I missed this completely. Casey Gilbert just went out and set the fastest time of the day. So Casey Gilbert, hopefully I can get him back in the booth with me. So Casey and his son Aiden Gilbert, number 618 out of Fenton, Michigan, with Gilbert Brothers Racing in that Miller Pro chassis, Mass Motorsports LS7, Tranny Tom Turbo 400, Nitto Tire, Big B, Willwood, Rugged Radios, Ironman Off-Road, FK Dynamic Converters, Balducci Enterprises, and MC Motorsports. So Casey Gilbert, our newest fast run of the day with a 1:39.525. So I think he's going to be top 5 for the rest of the day. I think Casey Gilbert just threw down a heater. We'll see how he shakes up. We don't have any other 4400s that have ran except for Pat Peterson, and he's a little bit down the list because he's got his co-driver actually driving, which is really cool. He's down with a 157, so not bad. But Casey Gilbert with a 139. All right, and taking off there was the 1313 of Brent Irwin, making his Ultra 4 USA debut out of Salem, Indiana, with Warehouse Racing in his Jeep with a Maypop 4.7, Black and Blue Motorsports, Fathead Racing, Dirt Weapon Off-Road, Day Construction, and Team Indiana. He has been a an amazing co-driver for such a long time. To see him to get behind the wheel is pretty special. And then also his buddy Corey Day is doing the same thing with Terhune riding shotgun out of Uniondale, Indiana with Day Racing. They are both part of the 4600 Spider Track stock class. And his Cherokee with Branik Motorsports, Mickey Thompson tires, Raceline wheels, Ironman 4x4 fab, ACNC Cutting and Fab, Hunt's Auto Salvage, Team Indiana, Ford Excavating, Warren Racing, Factor 55, and his wife, Sarah Day. So we have two 4600 Spider Track stock class cars out on course. You have to have a stock OEM frame. Wheelbase must stay within 3 inches. Factory engine, but may be replaced with any available engine in the same make, model, and year. Have to have a factory transmission, 35-inch DOT tires, single 2.5 shock per corner, limited to 14 inches of travel, factory-style suspension like leaf spring, coil spring, TTB, or whatever it came with, and mechanical steering. So we have Corey Day and Brent Irwin just finished. We'll see if I can find a time on him. So Corey Day just come across the line, so I'll try to find Corey Day and Brent Irwin. Brent Irwin is first in class with a 203. Just got bumped second in class by his buddy Corey. So Brent Irwin with a 203 and Corey with a 2-minute flat. Don't forget, ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com. We've got a lot of cars going, so I'm definitely missing a few of them. I do apologize. But out on course right now is the 866 of Sean Reisky and Rick Murray out of Mishawaka, Indiana with 866 Motorsports. He's got a newer chassis he built in-house with an LS3, JKS, Branik, Dirty Life wheels, Mickey Thompson tires, and Mishawaka Auto Pros. It's been a busy day, but man, it's been fun. Looks like we're about 47 of 74, so we're 2/3 of the way through or so. But don't forget, you do not have to qualify. You can choose to take a rear start, but on a course like this, I would recommend qualifying. Sometimes our qualifying courses can be pretty tough, but out here, I think they're going to be up and running. So Sean Reisky getting a time here. And you have to scroll up and down, so it's a little tough to see exactly where they're at. Sean Reisky, first in class, 7th overall with a 143. So great run by him. And off the line there is the 523 of Tim Abner and Joseph Ponziano out of Hobart, Indiana with UTV Outlaws. In his Polaris with UTV Outlaws, Daco Fuel Lab, Wayland Speed, TKO Clamps. Great to see him out here racing with us once again. And it's still Casey Gilbert with the fastest time of the day with a 1:39 time to beat. Just 0.2 of a second faster than Paul Wolf. But it doesn't matter if it's 0.2 or 2 minutes. Faster is faster. Good job, Casey Gilbert. We'll see what Paul Wolf can do when he steps into his 4400 car. Sounds like he is going to be co-driving during qualifying for Chris Hickman, his team owner. And I hear him all over the gas, so we should get another one getting ready to head on out. So heading out on course is John Lachey. Let me flip around. All right, John Lachey and Bryce Lightower, number 4662 out of Milford, Michigan with LMS Off-Road Racing in his 1985 Toyota pickup with a 22 RE. Lachey Machining Services, Bill Stein, Yukon, Contour Graphics, and Yokohama. So I just told you what a 4600 stock car is. I've told you what a 4800 Branik Motorsports Legends class car was earlier. So we'll jump to a 4500 modified car. You can have two 2.5 shocks per corner, mechanical steering, maximum of a 37-inch DOT tire, and front-mounted engine. So again, we will be racing tonight starting at 5:30 for the Youth 1K, the Stock, and the Open. And then at 9 p.m., we'll do the 4500 and the 4600 Spider Track Stock class. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., we'll do the 170s and right here at the start-finish. And then we'll do some awards. And then tomorrow night at 5:30, we will do the Pro Modified UTV race. And then at 7:30, we'll do the 4400 and 4800 classes. So it's going to be a jam-packed evening the next couple nights. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you check it out. Here comes John Lachey. Benji's following him around, doing some great things. And here comes Chad Hunt, number 456 with Team Indiana. And Hunt's Motorsports out of Plymouth, Indiana with Rick Murray riding shotgun and that Miller Pro chassis. A solid axle machine. Mass Motorsports LS427, Branik, Mickey Thompson, Dirty Life Wheels, Indiana Muscle Cars, and Fox Shocks. He was the 2023 Zandy Willems Sportsman of the Year. He's got first place at Nationals last year, and his first race ever was right here in Badlands back in 2013. So Chad Hunt's been racing with us for a long time, and he's the kind of the lead on this hog roast they're putting on with Team Indiana for this afternoon. So huge shout out to Chad Hunt and the entire Team Indiana. Looks like Jesse Oliver is going to come say hey with me for a minute. I kept looking for his name to get on the list, but he said the car's just not quite ready, but that's all part of it. So Jesse Oliver has been racing with us for quite some time, rebuilding a new car. You got a Miller car coming, if I remember right.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to step from the 4500 class to the 4800 class, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
Nice. And there comes Chris Hickman off the line. I don't think he's ever drove with Ultra 4 USA, so he's got Paul Wolf riding shotgun number 89 with Hickman Motorsports out of Columbia, Tennessee. And then Chad Hunt, we'll get a time for him in just a moment. So Chris Hickman's in a Horschel four-wheel steer, four-wheel independent suspension, probably the most technology-advanced car on course today or this weekend.
That car is bad to the bone.
It's so cool, but it's so. I'm kind of a simple guy because I don't want to have to
thought that.
You got me. I set myself up, but I like keeping stuff simple because I want to know how to work on it. That car is so fancy, so cool. It's got so much little technical stuff on it that it's had some issues finishing. I hope they can pull it together.
Absolutely. And in a race like this with all the water and stuff out there, it's we'll see.
Yeah. But, so Chad Hunt just finished with a 146. So he's second in class thus far behind Casey Gilbert's 139. So you said you tried getting your car here, but just wasn't quite ready?
Yep. Just waiting on a couple little widgets to come in and get it finished up. But it runs and it would move. It doesn't have drive shafts in it. It's one of those things.
Bluetooth, huh?
Yeah. I leave the drive shafts and the brake bleeding till the last thing just to keep me from ripping it around the block when it's not done.
That's fair, yeah. You're smart. You're smart, so you try to keep yourself from being stupid.
I try to keep myself from being stupid, yeah.
So we were talking in the Big B studio just a moment ago with Tim Hooper, number 1505, with Daniel Parker riding shotgun out of Bentonville, Arkansas, with Fuel Works Racing. He's in that Trent Fab top shelf solid axle machine with the Thompson Motorsports LS427 with 750 horsepower. Fuel Works, Sureway, NWA, Old Town Auto Body, Baja Designs, Warren, Four Wheel Concepts, and Method. So I always tell people, IFS versus solid axle. So I want to hear your perspective. Kind of give it a dumb down of what the two are.
Right. I've always been a solid axle guy. Woods Racing, I think the solid axle is a little bit better choice, just from the they're a little narrower. They're easier to get through the woods. Chip shows that regularly in an IFS car, how it's tough to miss trees with it. But the IFS cars in the desert racing and out here in the big whoops, that's a little bit of an advantage to that. But yeah, I'm a solid axle guy.
Yeah, so solid axle is what you see in your typical Jeep, your typical pickup. So it's a live axle. It's solid all the way through. IFS is what you see in like a car, a minivan, a Toyota.
Right.
It's got two A-arms on each side. One side can go up, the other side goes down. Solid axle, when that one goes up, it pushes the other side whichever way it's going. So.
Right. You feel every bump with a solid axle car.
But they've came a long way. I was talking to Josh Blyler actually fairly recently, and somebody was like, when are you going to switch over to IFS? He's like, I don't think we're done getting the improvements out of the solid axle. So that was an interesting concept to hear.
I'm pretty excited about that. Going to the 4800
and a Miller car too.
And a Miller car. It's very well worked out, and it's the structure of that car is impressive. I had a homebrew car for years and was very successful, but every year it was tear it apart and cut the front off and start over.
Yeah, speaking of being fairly successful, you were the national champion last year in 4,500. So
there's that.
I'd say you can back that up.
There's that. Yeah, absolutely. We had a great run last year, so that was for sure.
So off the line there is number four with Chip McLaughlin and Brad Christensen out of Corinth, Texas with Rufus Racing. He's in a Tribe 16 2C IFS chassis Irene with a Grom LS7 with 900 horsepower, Maxxis tires, Vision wheels, EcoStaff, Baja Designs, Dynamic Motorsports, Mama Ange, and the man above, Zandy Willem. So we'll see. We had Dougie Fresh in here chatting with us, and he always up for a good laugh, and we'll see. He didn't think Chip would hit any trees, but I said he'd hit at least 13 of them. We'll see.
I think I said 14 earlier.
Okay, all right.
But I think
we're on the same page. Yeah. So Dougie, we just sorry, buddy, you're wrong.
I don't know. Did he get the first one?
He must have missed it, and actually, that's going to be a pretty good run for him. There's so many cars. Oh, my goodness. Chip McLaughlin just got pole position with a 139.151. So 0.4 of a second over Casey Gilbert. So even when we were talking smack, he got her done. And we only talk smack on our good buddies.
Right.
So Chip McLaughlin, wow. So Paul Wolf in a UTV is a 139 and a 140. And then Chip McLaughlin and Casey Gilbert in 4,400 are both in the 139s. So less than 1 second splits the top four overall. That's incredible.
I don't think they're going to get to the 110.
I was wrong, but you know who was wronger? Pam said 55 seconds. So
that's true. That's true.
She lost her bet again.
Yeah.
I was guessing that 110, and I'm way off. We won't see much under a 139. I'm expecting.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast guys already out there. So
yeah,
Paul in the big car it'll be interesting to see, especially with the third lap.
Yeah,
third time he's been around at a speed. It's you learn stuff.
So out on course right now is the number 47 of Philip McGilton out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama with 47 Motorsports. He's in a 4th gen Campbell chassis, single seat IFS with Schofield Performance LSX 454, Southern Tire Mart at Pilot, Yokohama, KMC Wheels, Simpson, and Willwood Brakes. And then taking off there was the number 8008 of Austin Pyatt. Switch seats. He's in the 4,500 class. Yes, he is. Out of Box Elder, South Dakota with PT Racing. Austin Pyatt and Tyler Pyatt in that 1998 Jeep YJ with a 4.6 stroker, 300 horsepower. Almost Home Pet Resort. Banks, 503. and Yukon. So Austin Pyatt out there pushing strong.
That's a 45, not a 46.
4,500. Yep. I could
Okay.
be wrong, but let's see. It won't tell us until he's done with his lap, but I'm pretty sure he's in a 4,500 car.
Okay. There's a couple new guys out there then. 45, that's good.
Yeah, I like it. And speaking about new, Brandon Davis and that brand new UFO is taking the line next, and I'm super excited to see what he can do. I love the Joe Thompson UFO cars. Just a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Ultra 4 altogether. Don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
that's one of my favorite cars out there. And having a brand new one that's purpose built for Ultra 4, but he can also take it rock bouncing. I mean, you talk about wild. Brandon Davis is it.
Yeah, Joe Thompson's an artist for sure. Those cars are all gorgeous.
And you're hopping into you home built your 4,500 car, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So then you hopping into a Miller chassis. I'm excited for you. I think that's also probably one of my favorite solid axle cars. So I think you're in good hands.
Yeah, definitely. They're for 4,800 class. I don't think there's a better chassis out there. So, which I guess is why I went with it.
Yeah. Well, you're smarter than you look.
Thank you. I've been told that.
So Brandon Davis, number 256 out of Huntsville, Alabama with Davis Racing. He's in a brand new UFO single seat IFS with LSX horsepower, 750 horsepower, Raceline wheels, and Mickey Thompson tires. His first race with Ultra 4 was at Crandon last year, and he is making his Ultra 4 debut in the 4,400 class in that UFO. Well, Jesse, always a pleasure. Good seeing you. We'll see you around. We're going to kick you out and get pole setter for now, Chip McLaughlin. Well, you had to correct me. You were only a pole setter for about 5 minutes or so because Philip McGilton just came through and laid down a 134 just after I said we couldn't get much faster than 139. But
but
great run.
At least you got to say I was a pole leader for a little bit.
I said you were the pole setter for one time.
And I wasn't the first one to go out.
No, that was Jonathan Terhune played that game.
Right. Well, I'm glad we did that that good. I made that first corner in the back, and we went sideways, and I went the long way through the mud.
Sideways or slideways?
I was slideways.
All right.
Full throttle, mud, everything. So it's kind of weird. Everybody else's car's coming clean, and mine's not so much.
Well, you'll have that. Just taking out on course right now is Jeff Price and Cody Gavonda, number 4857 out of East Bethany, New York, with No Car Racing. In a Miller chassis with a Gavonda LS 408 stroker, Turbo 400, Maxxis, Philip Casper Photography, Endurance Electrical Services, Torque Masters, and Shawnee K Industries. So yeah, you got a great run. We had Dougie Fresh in here, and he said you're gonna get one of those podiums this weekend, and you weren't gonna hit a single tree. And then Jesse and I were being realistic and saying 13 to 14 trees. What's your guess?
There might be an over and under, and I'm going to go on the under on this one, hopefully.
What is the over under? 13, 14?
I don't know. I'll tell you after the race.
But no, I love giving you a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
No
well deserved.
disrespect, but obviously you bring it on yourself. You're definitely the class clown of Ultra 4.
Something like that. We like to have a good time. We got a lot of us out here, and this is kind of a trek for us, almost 900 miles. Which,
it is a haul then, huh?
Our family back home. It's Axel's birthday, Lulu's kid. That was Z's godson. So it's his birthday.
Cool.
So happy birthday to Axel.
Love it.
I'm in front of Casey. Oh, this is awesome.
Well, yeah. So it's we'll run through the top 5 real quick. Philip McGilton with a 134. Chip McLaughlin with a 139. Casey Gilbert with a 139.5. So you're 4/10 faster than Casey Gilbert. And then Paul Wolf in his Pro Mod and his Open UTVs as 4th and 5th. So what a great run to be up front in front of those guys. Good run, buddy.
Thank you. We'll see how Farley's about to go out here. He's been studying and doing amazing things, and we're glad to have him on the team now in the 4,800 class. He's making me work a little harder.
Yeah, and speaking about 4,800 Branik Motorsports Legends class, Justin Barth and Paul Geisenhagen out of Springfield, Missouri, in number 417 with Barth Racing. He's in a Jimmy's 4x4 48P chassis, LS3 427 with 700 horsepower, Raceline wheels, Nitto tires, and King shocks. So Justin Barth out there, he's playing double duty, racing in his Can-Am Maverick R and his Jimmy's 4800 car. And if you were just tuning in, this is qualifying, getting everything set up for the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana.
Yeah, so I guess Justin will race tonight and tomorrow night, huh?
Yeah. He's going to be busy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Looks like Kendall Glines is tuned in.
Landing.
Yeah, I'm hoping the weather holds out. We got a little bit more chance of rain, but it's starting to dry out. I can tell you the qualifying course is a whole lot drier than it was yesterday.
I was going to ask that. I mean, I think that the dirt still has that tackiness to it, but it's not muddy. So, like, the traction, I think, is going to be amazing.
Yeah, when we hit the mud hole in the back, everything just fell off the helmet, so it didn't. We got a rollover behind us, sounds like.
I didn't hear that.
Yep,
right at the start. All right. Well, I can't see it, but they told me it's rolled over, so somebody's upside down.
Would have been who just took off.
Will Klein, I think. That'd be the 1337 of Will Klein out of Poland, Ohio with Incline Racing, part of the stock UTV class, and his Can-Am with PhD Manufacturing and his closest guys. So he'll be taking a rear start. Unlike you'll be starting up towards the front, which you're not very used to.
No, I'm not. And, I showed up to this race not knowing it was a night race, so.
Yeah, I forgot you can't read emails.
No, I don't read emails. I can go to the bottom. But Miles is going to check on, see who this rolled over. It looks like he's fine. But that was one of the reasons why we came earlier with the track getting dug in. We want to be at the end and flip over in some of these ruts. So even that first corner there has got a bunch of ruts.
So it looks like Will Klein. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, Will Klein. So after the start finish, you kind of do that hard right left, and he bicycled up and just laid her on the side and
up on the right
soft
or the
berm
left?
on the right. Yep.
Yeah, well on the inside there's some. They took some Sackcrete and made a little concrete dam there.
Okay,
we're within inches of that, so he might got into that.
Just
Sackcrete.
Kissed it and
so it's like
her
rocks.
on over.
But that's why we tried to qualify middle. We're going to let everybody run the mud out, and I want to do the end because those ruts are getting deep and they'll flip us over quicker.
Okay.
Imagine.
Well, it's coming all to place, huh?
Right.
Well, we have a little break in the action. We need to thank Monster Energy, Warren Racing, Branik Motorsports, All Things UTV, NorCal Rock Racing, Rock Crawler Suspension, Freight Factory, Spider Tracks, Factor 55, PCI Race Radios, G4 Suspension Technology, Metal Cloak, Maxxis, and Keen Shocks. So please support who supports the sport. Without all these amazing marketing partners, we would not be racing here today for the Branik Motorsports Brawl here at Badlands Off-Road Park. So whether you're building a race car, a mall crawler, your work truck, go show some of these sponsors some love.
Yes, Brad and I were sitting on the starting line behind Chris, and we were taking bets on whether he was going to be upside down when he came in. I was like, well, Paul's riding with him, so that could go either way.
No, he looks like he had a pretty good run. Let's see if I can find him.
I was impressed he found his way back to the finish line.
So 89, I'm scrolling.
He's just going out there to have some fun, trying to.
I don't have an 89 in my list, so I don't know what's going on. We'll get that squared away later.
Glad to see them bringing that car out, getting the new car blues out of that. Ben built that car 2 years ago, and it's an amazing car.
Yeah, Paul Horschel had it, or obviously built it for Ben Miller.
Correct.
Ben Miller sold it to Matt Wilson and Anthony Yount.
Yep.
And now I don't know what's going on with it, but it's here.
Matt still owns it.
I think so.
And Paul's working the bugs out. I know earlier this week he was debating on whether he was going to race that one or the single seat.
So I think that may be Nick Anderson. Waiting for my timing to update. So Nick Anderson went out earlier and had some kind of issue out on course, but was able to get it back on wheels and drive out under his own power, and obviously they got it going. again, that was a visual. I don't see it on my ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com.
How long till Scott?
Looks like Jason Farley and Budget YJ are tuned in. Thanks for checking us out. We got John Holtzman,
Yeah, if Jason's
Michaela, Jeremy Brown, Kevin P., Josh Pitts, and Mike B.
Yeah, if Jason's watching, his daughter, Farley's sister, and Farley's co-driver, Kevin Sullivan, his girlfriend, Daisy, she's in Tennessee right now. She's battling some cancer and getting some awesome care. So we're all racing for Daisy this weekend.
I love to hear that. And I was correct. I got updated. It is Nick Anderson who just took off, number 3402 out of Canton, Georgia, with Anthony Denny riding shotgun with Anderson Racing, part of the open class. And a Can-Am Maverick R, Metal FX, CT Raceworks, UTV Race Shops, Infinite Off-Road, Evo, Tires Pine, and PRP. And then taking off right behind him in the 464 is Glennie Page and Fletcher Page out of Ontario, Canada, all the way from Canada. Love it. With Northern Force Racing, a Gent Bentfath solid axle machine, LS3, maximum transmission, North Force, Rival Hydrovac, Summit Trucks, Hammerhead Parts, Nitto Tires, Raceline Wheels, and King Shocks.
So are y'all doing the live stream, the Starlink or whatever, the Star Stream?
We're hoping so. Did you send yours to Chris?
Farley's got his in his car. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sure I got the link.
I made a post. Everybody sent it to Chris with Take It Live if you need that email. But, yeah, if you guys send it to him, not for qualifying because I'm doing this.
I got it. Okay.
But for the race, he'll be switching it from his place, and hopefully we have a few Star Streams lined up.
Yeah, we've got one in Farley's car. We've got the Starlink for ours, but with the woods and not having the Star Stream, we're just not going to run the Star.
Yeah, just
Starlink.
Just in case you go upside down or hit a tree or something.
Well, I went upside down for the first time at the last race. It didn't hurt the Starlink at all.
And taking off now is Branik Motorsports themselves. We have Caden Berger and James Cantrell, number 4408 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, with Branik Motorsports. In that Jimmy's 48P chassis with an LSX 900 horsepower. Branik Motorsports, Mickey Thompson Tires, Raceline Wheels, and Badlands Off-Road Park. Great to see Stan out here supporting his grandson, still loving Ultra 4.
Right.
Branik Motorsports has been one of our longtime sponsors and a huge part of the Ultra 4 family. And, to see him kind of retire out and then bring his grandson in and kind of passing the torch, I absolutely love it.
So since he's retiring and not racing, is he going to take over the purple dinosaur position up on top of anything?
I haven't seen it out here. I'm disappointed.
There's been some shenanigans with that.
Oh, yeah. I was never a part moving it on top of that semi 10
No, I
years
have
ago.
no
That
idea
wasn't
what
me.
you're talking about.
Yeah, Puff the Purple Dragon. I don't see any of Team Indiana, but we need to ask him. I'm worried about him. And I do see Stan over there. Hopefully we can get him over here to chat with us here in a little bit. But you can say he's anxiously awaiting to see his car come back.
Right.
Hey, all right. I made we got him.
Hey,
yep.
Shamed him into it.
Shamed him into putting up Puff. We didn't know where to go for the hog fry.
Right, exactly.
So here goes Kevin Porterfield, number 4426, and Brian McVeigh out of St. Clairsville, Ohio, with Porterfield Motorsports. In a wide open designs 2-seat IFS chassis, Jeff Ginter race engines with 800 horsepower, maximum turbo 400, Atlas, Mickey Thompson Tires, PRP, Baja Designs, RCV, Liberty Mountain Fab, Diddy's Big Block, and Radflow. So we'll see if I can get a time on old Caden Berger, the 4408.
It's good to see Kevin out here and Brian McVeigh. This is their type of racing.
So Caden Berger, third in class, 25th overall with a 148. So Philip McGilton is the pole setter thus far with a 134.999. That's 5 seconds faster than Chip McLaughlin,
That's
Casey
4
Gilbert, and
seconds.
Paul.
4 seconds. It's at 139.1.
4 point something.
Yeah. 4 seconds in a tree.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you did get one.
No, I didn't get any.
No,
in this
okay,
one. No,
just asking.
not yet.
I do have an extra one of those smelly car tree things if you want it.
Well, we've been known to put those out on there. We've been known to put some Dougie Fresh air fresheners out there too. Smell like bacon.
All in good fun.
Oh, yeah. That's part of it out here.
Man, there's a lot of cars to scroll through. And next off the line is the 4046 of Christopher Branton, but he's using a fill-in driver of Ryan Webb out of Bossier City, Louisiana, with Upside Down and Kryptonite Racing. In that 2-seat IFS Jimmy's chassis with an LSA 446, Maximum Turbo 400, Kryptonite Customs, Liquimoly, Raceline wheels, USD sticky tires, JE Reel drive shafts. So the USD sticky tires is Chris Branton and Ryan Webb, and they come out, they built them, they had them developed, and they come out and test them with Ultra 4 USA and love it.
They definitely beat on them. I remember qualifying when we qualified on Chocolate Thunder, and he took off through those rocks and never let off. And those tires stayed
That's
solid.
where he got his nickname Kamikaze Chris.
Yeah, I think the throttle was stuck. I don't think he's that brave.
It was pretty impressive to say the least.
And that's what I like about the sport. The guys that are coming out here racing, they're doing, pushing the sport forward. It even goes down into the, wreck wheelers. I can tell you when we were racing 10 years ago, or even wheeling 10 years ago, we didn't even have the stuff we had today. So I appreciate people like that.
It's absolutely amazing. Oh, it looks like Scott Farley's getting ready to take off next. You wanna watch from up there? Or you wanna stay in here?
Nah, I'll watch right here. He's been trying to mouth to me, saying that if he beats me, he gets to drive Irene. And Brad's got the clock up here, but we've been trying to come up with some creative bets, and I like that the 4800 is going to run with us.
It's different. I dig it.
It is different, and I told him if I catch him, which I will.
So who's riding with Scott?
Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, I didn't have that. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Kevin Littlefoot had to work. Yeah, he's a firefighter, first responder, and can only get so much off. So he's sitting in the shop. I think he's off today playing with his axle or something and watching and wishing he was here.
So Scott Farley and Kevin Sullivan out of Irving, Texas with Rufus Racing and that Tribe 16 chassis with a Grom Racing 427 with 750 horsepower. He's got EcoStaff, Maxxis tires, Vision wheels, Meridyne, and Mama Ange. And, man, where was that at? In Oklahoma, he broke, I think it was the transfer case right off the bat.
It ended up being the yoke.
The yoke off the transfer case.
Stayed together.
And he made it in two-wheel drive and did the best smoke show I have ever seen. It was a lot of fun to watch.
We were changing rear tires every lap, and he did it in two-wheel drive, still podium. I think he got second or third.
So let's talk about that. Those Maxxis tires in two-wheel drive, he beat them to death. And the tread was gone, but they still held air.
They held.
I was impressed.
The last set, they were pretty much bald. And I think when he came off the course, he ran over a rock, but he had thinned them out so much, rock went in the middle of the tread and put a slow leak in it.
All right, looks like we got about 10 more cars yet to go. So who's next? This looks like it's Sean Rance. So that's going to be the 4,500 class.
And so Kevin, who's riding with Farley, they came out of the Fab School, and Kevin works at Tribe 16.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh, that sounds like it would be Farley.
Well, he came through a little bit too hot.
He didn't quite make the finish.
Well,
he's on his side.
Well, Chip, you want to run out there and check on him? All right, buddy. Yep, good luck. So we're going to go send them down and check on Farley. He took a little bit of a tumble, so hopefully we can get him cleared before Sean Rance, who just took off, with Chuck Richardson, number 4531, out of Aztec, New Mexico, with Mudnut Racing. He's in a 1976 Ford Bronco Jesse Haynes fabrication chassis. Richardson Performance Windsor 460 Ford small block with 600 horsepower. Milestar Raceline wheels, Branik, and Rust Stuff. And just got an update. Driver is okay. Scott Farley took a tumble, but he is A-okay. So all good. Got double, triple confirmation. He's good, but we'll have to get the car checked out and back in action. And again, hopefully we can give him righted and out of the way before Sean Rance comes through. Tough break for Scott Farley. You know, he pushed a little bit too hard. And qualifying is very important, but now he's going to take a rear start. So it sounds like he may have clipped a concrete block a little bit, took him for a little bit of a tumble. Tough break there, but hey, that's part of racing. This coverage of Ultra 4 USA for the Badlands Branik Brawl is presented by Branik Motorsports and brought to you by our official sponsors, Monster Energy, Warren Racing, PCI, Metal Cloak, and by NorCal Rock Racing. So it looks like this recovery may take just a moment, so we'll step away and we'll be right back with more racing action.
Over 25 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
We don't take these lightly. They're not practiced or anything like that. We're here to try to win. And you know, we're getting bigger car counts. It's a new track. It's a cool venue, and it's a different change of scenery.
That's what Ultra 4 is. But then when the green flag drops, it's all out battle. Mad Max and Thunderdome.
It's going to be tough. The competition is the best of the best.
For me, it's just a place to go release some anger and have some fun with my kids. And it's like fist fighting in a goddamn race car.
For racing to me is a way to get out with friends. It's where we spend time together. It's where you get your blood pumping.
I'm excited. I have a lot of confidence on where Ultra 4 is going to be.
Ultra 4 is awesome. It's so much fun because you're just wheel to wheel with the guy next to you, and especially in short course. And what an opportunity to be able to race side by side with like pro level drivers that have won K8 previously, OG drivers that have been in this for 10 plus years.
PCI Race Radios, the leader in off-road communications since 1972. Our equipment was developed for racing in Baja, perfected for enjoying the weekend with family and friends. PCI has the highest quality communications, navigation, and safety equipment, backed by the best support in the industry. Find us at hundreds of events each year, supporting our equipment on site and providing the PCI Weatherman Relay. See you in the desert.
Tested and proven in some of the world's most rugged environments, the all-new Warn Xeon XD and XP line of vehicle recovery winches have arrived, redesigned from the ground up. Warn Xeon XD and XP represent the ultimate in performance and durability on the market today. You'll have the confidence to go farther, and most of all, go prepared.
Welcome back to the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. I am Miles Hasquis, and we are bringing you Ultra 4 USA Racing at its finest. We just saw Scott Farley take a pretty good little tumble. He is okay, but will take a rear start. Gosser just came up and told me the 4614, they are not going to qualify and just take a rear start. So just kind of keeping everything going. Sean Rance Sr. is had to re-rack because Farley was in the way, so he stopped his run, and he is taking off as we speak. So Sean Rance Sr. and Chuck Richardson, number 4531, out of Aztec, New Mexico, with Mudnut Racing, and that 1976 Ford Bronco Jesse Haynes fabrication. With a Richardson Performance Windsor 460 small block with 600 horsepower. Milestar tires, Raceline wheels, Branik Motorsports, and Rough Stuff. They are in the 4500 modified class. And we're going to bring in one of the main mans here at Badlands Off-Road. We got, so your boss is, you got to put this on, Larry. So we got Larry hopping in the booth, Kyle's right-hand man. And you've been helping us out all week, and I can't say enough. You guys are great.
Well, we appreciate that, Miles.
Get that mic a little closer, buddy.
Sorry.
There we
How's
go.
that?
That's perfect.
I don't want to swallow it. No, we appreciate that. We appreciate the kind words. And I know Kyle mentioned this during the drivers' meeting, but the Ultra 4 race is...
He said it's his highlight of the year.
It is our highlight of the year.
And you do some cool stuff here. I'm not taking anything away. So for you to say that about us, it makes us feel good. And again, you guys, you've been busy. You're running around herding chickens, right? And I'll say, hey, I need this block moved. And 10 minutes later, I turn around, it's moved. Hey, there's water in this hole. You guys have done an amazing job and done leaps and bounds above a lot of other people. And we love coming here.
Well, we appreciate that. It's not just Kyle and I. It's the whole staff that pitches in and helps out. But it really is the highlight of the year. We look forward to this all year and other events as we can attend. And we definitely want to see the sport grow and do everything we can to contribute.
100%. So here goes, that is Brian Trimp, I believe. Let me get my sheet. Yeah, the 896 of Brian Trimp and Tad Dowker out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, with Shallow Pockets Racing and Trimp's Racing Services. He's in a Jeep Armory chassis, supercharged 408 with 850 horsepower. I think he actually took that supercharger off. I'll have to check that later. He's got a Tranny Tom Turbo 400, Mickey Thompson tires, Max Garage, Dirty Life wheels, and ball joint eliminators. But yeah, Larry, just again, thanks for everything you do. It's been great. And man, what a great start we got. I mean, the weather's been dicey, but it's looking good.
Yep, there's just enough moisture on the ground to keep the dust down so far, and it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, so we've went out to dinner the last couple nights, and you sat at the good table the first night, and yet we had to slum it up with Kyle, the boss man, last night, and that's all in good fun. It's been great, but we went to the Mexican joint last night, but we went to the steakhouse the first night, and I think you guys were telling us that that's farm raised here in Indiana, right? The steak?
Yeah, all the meat is raised locally. The butcher shop that processes the meat is right down the street, and they drive about 10 miles to the restaurant.
Yeah, it's one of the best steaks I've had in a very long time, so thank you for your hospitality there as well.
Yeah, that's Budrow's Steak and Tap House, if anybody is ever in town.
Yeah, it's a great little town. Attica, Indiana, what is it? How big is it? I usually have that information.
It's a population
3,500?
about 3,000,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. It's not a real big town.
Oh, 3,100. Look at me go.
Okay.
Or you go. Yeah, you know
pretty
it.
close. Yeah, it encompasses everything that is small town rural Indiana.
Yeah, it's a great little town. I come from a town in Paola, Kansas, just south of Kansas City. It's 5,500, but it still has that same vibe, and I really love it. Man, Brian Tripp just threw down a heater. We'll see what that is here in just a minute. But the 4561 of Cody St. Clair and Travis Forshee out of Ponder, Texas with SCR Motorsports and that Tribe 16 chassis with a Thompson LS 408 stroker, 600 horsepower, Raceline wheels, Cooper tires, full throttle batteries, and Rufus Racing. So we'll see where did Brian Tripp just end up, because I think that was a great run. But with this many cars, it's hard to keep up with who's where. Brian Tripp is 5th in class with a 153, so solid run. And don't forget, you can go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing we have here in the Big B studio. So is there anything else you need to update us from Badlands Off-Road Park, or just have fun, be safe, and let's do it?
Yeah, that's about it. Have fun, be safe. And I'm just, it's been a few years. You guys came back last year, and we definitely missed you. And it's just absolutely unbelievable how much this sport has grown over the years.
And how much you guys have done with this park. So I've already told the story, so I'll make it quick. But I came here in 2008 with XRRA, and we went to the quarry.
Yep.
And when they said we're coming back, my first time back was, I think, in 17, if that rings a bell. And it's just a totally different park from then till even last year. And you guys still keep making improvements. Is it the second biggest UTV dealership this side of the Mississippi, I heard?
I'm not 100% sure
What's
on the
wrong with
stats
it?
for Attica Motorsports.
But you guys have how many brand new units? 300-400 brand new units on site?
Right now, I think we're sitting at over 500 on the ground.
500. That's incredible. So you guys can come out here. You have rental UTVs, so you can rent one, go drive it, see if that's your flavor, and then come here and buy it. I mean, you guys are open 7 days a week.
Yep.
Now you're getting in trouble, huh?
No, we're fine.
Is
We're
that
fine.
Kyle, or are we good?
No, we're good.
But I was going to make that joke. This is the first time I haven't seen your phone ring, and there it goes.
Yep. Yeah, Attica Motorsports is one of the highest volume dealerships in the nation, not just the region.
That's incredible.
And you can come and talk to them and buy a machine, as Miles mentioned, rent a vehicle on site if you don't have your own side-by-side. There's a lot to do here.
And then you can drive it like a rental, right?
Let's hope not, because then we'll have to go and tow you out of the mud hole.
No, I've seen that happen. Yeah, and that's what I love about Badlands Off-Road Park is the diversity. I mean, you got the sand dunes in the middle of Indiana. You have the tight trees. You have mud. I'm not a mud guy, but the people that want to do it go have some fun. And then there's some really good rock obstacles. The quarries. That's where I'm heading this evening and tomorrow night. I'll be set up right in the middle of the quarry, and it's going to be a show.
Yeah, it will be. It's almost like you're teleported to another dimension here, Miles. The diversity of terrain is incredible.
Yeah, so we just had off the line the 441 of Robert Liebel out of Quinlan, Texas, with Liebel Racing in the Open UTV class in his Can-Am X3, Rigid Excavation, CT Raceworks, UTV Race Shops, OBR Tires, and Double E Racing. And then right behind him was the 906 of Tad Dowker and Andy Eustace out of Elk Rapids, Michigan, with North Shore Raceworks. He's in a Trent Fab solid axle machine, Bambi. He's got an FTA 501 billet big block with over 1,000 horsepower. Fox shocks, Raceline wheels, Mickey Thompson tires, Baja Designs, and Warren Racing. So it's definitely been busy up here, but it's been a lot of fun, hasn't it, Larry?
Sure has. Looking forward to more.
Absolutely. So where are you going to be watching the racing tonight? You going to be dancing all over, or make it down to the quarry with me?
I'll probably stage out of the quarry, and if I'm needed elsewhere,
I like that.
I'll take off from
Stage
there.
out of the quarry means I'm getting the good spot, and if I get called out, I'll go put out a fire.
Exactly.
Not a real fire. I'm saying just something that goes on.
Oh, I get it.
You're a busy guy, and again, we can't thank enough of what you guys have done to help support Ultra 4.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right,
All right,
Larry. Well,
Miles.
always a pleasure. And tell Kyle to come down to the quarry this evening and have a chat.
I think you'll probably see him down there.
Perfect. All right.
All right, buddy.
All right. Well, Larry Turnus with Badlands Off-Road Park, giving us, I'm telling you, they've been just leaps and bounds great on helping us out, putting everything together. So it looks like, here comes another heavy hitter of Paul Wolf, the number 1018 out of Alton, Illinois, with Wolf Racing. It is that UFO single seat IFS with an LSX 434, Nitto tires, Raceline wheels, VP, Radflow, and Badlands Off-Road Park. So Paul Wolf has a solid run in his UTVs. We'll see if he can make it happen. He's sitting first in modified and first in open and UTV. And Philip McGilton is still in the 4,400 out front with a 134.999. But this is Paul Wolf's fourth lap around this qualifying track at speed. He raced both his UTVs. He co-drove for Chris Hickman, and now he's in his UFO. So he's got the most seat time on this course. But right now it's Philip McGilton, and just now moving into second position is Tad Dowker with a 138. Then it's Chip McLaughlin. Then it's Casey Gilbert. So these guys and gals are really throwing down some heaters. And I can hear Paul already. This is going to be another fast run. Does he have what it takes to bump out Philip McGilton's 134.999? I am patiently awaiting, and we are about to find out. And he does. The new fastest time of the day is Paul Wolf with a 133.8. 1 full second faster than Philip McGilton. And his crew gets pretty stoked about it. So Paul Wolf just wins qualifying in 4,400 in Pro Modified and in Open. The man to beat right now is Paul Wolf. And I don't see any other cars lined up. I'm not sure. We'll see. We're missing about 10, but remember, you do not have to qualify. So I don't know. We'll see how this shakes out, but it's looking like we may not have any more qualifiers. We'll give it about 5 more minutes before we shut down and get ready for tonight's race at 5:30. So, again, if you're watching qualifying, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be the Youth 1K, the Stock, and the Open. And then we'll roll right into the 4,500 and the 4,600 Spider Track Stock class. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., right here in the arena, we'll do the Youth 170s. And then we'll take a break, and then 5:30 tomorrow night will be the Pro Modified class presented by G-Force Shock Technology. And then we'll roll into the 4,400 and 4,800. So it's going to be a great, great run. So it looks like Jason Farley's pretty stoked about how everything's going. Justin Ferguson, Jeep Grand 1, and KC Cubbin. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We've had a pretty good group of people watching all morning, so we appreciate everybody tuning in. Trying to get switched over here. So I'm going to run through the top. Let's run through the top 20. So first in class and first overall is Paul Wolf. Then it goes to Philip McGilton, then Tad Dowker, then Chip McLaughlin, then Casey Gilbert. And then in UTVs, it's Paul Wolf in Pro Mod, Paul Wolf in Open, Cody Willenborg in Open, Dustin Robbins in Open, Phil Stratman in Open, Nick Anderson in Open, Sean Reisky is first in class in the 4,800. Christopher Branton, driven by Ryan Webb, is 6th in 44. Brandon Davis is 7th in 44. Alan Burton is 6th in Open. Adam Brown, 7th in Open. Robert Lee Bull, 8th in Open. Gavin Smith, 2nd in Pro Modified. Jonathan Terhune, 2nd in 4,800. Brandon Davis, 9th in UTV and the All Things UTV Open class. So that's our top 20 overall. Again, go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have here in the Big B studio. Looks like Chris Hickman's walking by. I'll see if I can have him hop on the headset for just a minute, making his Ultra 4 USA rookie debut. He's been around a while. He owns a car. Looks like maybe 2 of them now, but he finally hopped behind the wheel and had a pretty solid run. How you doing, Chris?
Doing good. Just out here having fun.
Yeah, it's a great weekend. When that car first showed up, I was like, I saw Paul was working on it, and now it's here, and now you're racing it. Give us. You don't have to tell anything you don't want to, but what's going on with the old Holster car?
We're just took it. Matt Wilson still owns the car.
Okay.
We're just trying to work and try to figure some stuff out on the car, and it's breaking a lot. We're just trying to figure out how to set what's causing problems, what we can do to adjust to make it happen.
So testing and tuning and trying to make it last longer.
Make it last longer. See if we can get finish a race. So we tuned it back. It's got a big old Danzio motor in there.
Lots of horse, yeah. P600, if I remember right.
Yeah, and it don't take much on the throttle to get that thing to come to life. I figured that out there a couple times with Paul.
Yeah, so you have basically no seat time in the car, correct?
I drove it out in Oklahoma.
You did, okay. Oh, you did that on an off weekend. I do remember
weekend,
that.
Just went
It's
out
been
there
a
to
bit.
look at the car, and it's been a bit, but still, it was just cruising. Brad with Rufus rode with me. We didn't run the car out of gas. And,
you did or didn't?
We did, and I thought I broke the car. Then something happened because it just died, got the spit sputtering and dying.
Well, that's an easy fix.
Yeah, I was so tickled to get back and put some gas in it. Ran so. But no, we've been messing with it just to see what we can do, and going to try to work with Matt on some stuff and do some races and work together, kind of team up on some stuff just to see what we can have happen.
Yeah, so your background is rock bouncing, but then you stepped into Ultra 4 with Paul Wolf 3-4 years ago, I'm going to guess, and you actually own Paul's car and let him drive it. And you guys have teamed up, and it's man, Paul just won pole in 4400 Pro Mod and Open. That guy is a man. Don't say pretty good. That guy is on fire.
Well, he wasn't that good of a co-driver today. So
he wasn't, huh?
We had first and second if he was. But
yeah, all right.
No, he was trying to tell me to go. I'm like, I'm not getting wet. It's too early to get wet.
I get
so I went
that.
up and around it still looks clean. Look at it.
Yeah,
it's still
you
clean.
kept her in one piece too.
So that was the go. And no, we had fun. But no, Paul, it's been wonderful working and building a relationship with him and his family. He studies. He always wants to, get better. No matter how good he's doing, he's studying, trying to figure out how to go faster.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and that's what we enjoy. We work well together. We get along. We'll bark at each other, but we don't wear our feelings on our sleeves. So
perfect. Well, you guys do get excited, and I love watching you in the spotter stand hooting and hollering and hearing you guys banter back and forth. But then you guys are legit friends. But in the heat of the moment, you guys are all business.
Oh yeah, we're here to compete. We don't come here just to have fun. He puts so much work and effort into it that you want nothing but goodness for him. And
100%.
I'm having to stay home and work a job to try to help provide for this and balance it all out. And so yeah, we show up here. We're showing up to race and showing up to win. We're here to have a good fun time, but at the same time we're here to race.
I get it. And I see his wife Chrissy out here with, I think she's a year and a half-ish, right? And then you got Lainey, she's 5-ish, 6. All right. The family shows up there hopefully about half the races, but it's near and dear to my heart because I've got 2 daughters there. What are they now? 10 and 12. So I remember that age. Lots of fun. Enjoy every step of the way. And it's just great to see them out here and bringing the whole family, especially here to Badlands, because they can do a little bit of all of it.
Yeah, they could be grown up and gone. Well, we got 4 kids and they're all gone. They're off to college on their own, doing their own thing.
And now you're a kid yourself.
And I'm still being a kid myself. It's just hard to get away from it. So
I get it. Well, Chris, I'll let you get on out of here. I just want to have a quick chat.
Just having fun.
And I'm excited to see how you can do. Play it smart, play it safe, and just try to get the car to the finish line.
My strategy is go out there and have a glorified trail ride.
I like it.
See if we can keep it together and finish. Just get some data. We're just going to try to get some data, some time on the car, just to see where we need to go move forward to next with it. So
I get it.
Appreciate it, everything. Enjoy y'all. Thanks for Ultra 4 and all y'all do for us, man.
All right. Well, Chris, good times and good luck, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it looks like we probably made about our 5-minute mark. I don't see anybody else coming up here. So we're going to. So, yeah, we're going to step away here for a little bit. I'm going to move all my stuff from here to the quarry. So we'll be live here at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Central Time. So thank you for tuning in to the 2025 Branik Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. So from the entire broadcast crew here at Ultra 4 USA, I am Miles Hasselquist, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you this evening. It's going to be a good one.